met expectations, exceeded expectations. K-State falling short.
Yeah.
Done. Okay. Don't you can call. I don't know why you bother. Maybe you want to try to tell me I'm wrong about K-State, but Mizzou and Kansas a little trickier.
Mm-hmm.
A little trickier. I mean, I think it's entirely possible. I think Mizzou, in my opinion, they have exceeded my expectations a little bit. Just a little bit.
Kansas is a little more nuanced with multi-layered.
I don't know. I think there's some nuance to Mizzou. They were a tournament team last year, but we weren't sold on them definitely being a tournament team this year. Maybe I'm just getting bogged down by their non-con being not that good and then them getting pasted in some big non-con games. Yeah. And that readjusted my mindset to thinking this is not a tournament team. And now that they have played their way into the tournament, I'm thinking they've exceeded it. But in reality, this is what they should have been all along.
Yeah, I think if they had just started playing well and when conference play began, it'd be one thing. But the fact that it was the direct result of the addition of two key players, I think that was, if you look back and saw, you can easily look at it and go, all right, had we known what the factors were, that's a predictable start of the good play. And they still struggle in some areas, so you could expect a bit of a tail off. Kansas is, to me...
Kansas was preseason 19. They're currently sitting at 14. They're a 4 on one bracketology, one on ESPN's, and I think a 5 on CBS's.
Yeah. Lenardi's, they're 4 and they're 15, which means they're the third of the 4 seeds. Okay. Which means if they have a bad week this week, they could fall to the 5 seed in the NCAA.
CBS already has them as a 5.
Yeah,
so yeah, I think it's kind of interesting to kind of mark these seasons. I think it carries way too much weight, but the postseason tournaments, especially obviously the NCAA tournament, are really going to determine what our view is of these two team seasons.
Yep.
I think that's coming for sure.
If you're 4, I've said this repeatedly, almost ad nauseum. If you can get to the 3, that's what you want to do. Avoid that 1. Avoid the 1 seed in the Sweet 16.
Yeah, definitely this year. The ones do seem like they're a step ahead, particularly with UConn taking a step back and Florida continuing to win.
And you avoid someone who might be some of the 5s you see out there. A team like Arkansas. I don't think anybody wants to face a team that has multi-level scores. I know Missouri doesn't want to face a team like that.
No,
they probably wouldn't face them, but another team like that could cause some trouble.
Yeah. So anyway, we're going to talk some NASCAR with Zayn Smith coming up in a little bit. Driver of the 38 car will join us.
Former Braves pitcher.
Yes.
Not the same. Not the same one. Okay.
No.
Cool.
Nor the Pirates pitcher.
That's true. The same guy, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the same guy. Frank Bowl will be with us in the 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock hour. Sam McDowell joins us. 5 o'clock hour, we'll wrap it up with some college basketball talk. We'll get Gary Parrish's thoughts on these subjects that we were talking about on the college basketball. Let's open with the latest from the Kansas City Chiefs. Isaiah Pacheco is a Lion. Love Isaiah Pacheco's heart, his want-to, his toughness.
The story.
The Lions are in for a surprise. I mean, if you traded off David Montgomery and you think you've just replaced David Montgomery,
I have some news for you.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it. I was on with Westwood One Sports today, and they were asking, "Well, what are your thoughts?"
Now here's Soren Petro.
Not like that.
No, it wasn't like that.
Damn.
And they were asking me about, Isaiah Pacheco to the Lions just came down, and what do you think? I said, I think there's a lot of motion, not a lot of progress.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, there's a lot of movement. There's a lot of things going on there. It's just not progressing.
If your number one goal for a running back is to flatten the grass,
yeah,
he's your guy. He's very vertical.
It's like that. What was the where you put the football guys on and they bounce?
Oh yeah,
kind of moved around.
Electric football.
Electric football. Yeah, that's kind of what it is. But so he moves on to be expected. I don't think anybody saw him coming back here. But the Chiefs have a new safety.
Mm-hmm.
And did they get it right? Give me the pronunciation.
Alohi Gilman.
Alohi Gilman.
Alohi.
Gilman.
Alohi. I don't think you pronounce the H. You might pronounce it, but I think it's Alohi or Alohi Gilman.
Okay. Alohi Gilman, they get for basically $8 million a year. Brian Cook got $13 million a year to go to the Bengals. Did they get it right? And I will tell you, yes, I think they did. I think the Bengals are paying top dollar for what was the most recent season for Brian Cook. Now, there is reason to believe it's also the season he played the most, and he's had time to mature. There's reason to believe that he's going to continue to play at the level he's played at, but he basically played at a level that Gilman played at 2 years ago, right? If you look at their last 3 years, their PFF ranks collectively, if you add up the last 3 years, divide by 3, Gilman's the better player. And the Chiefs got him for 67% of the cost. And so, for me, this is playing the draft. Like, this is the opposite of the Kenneth Walker.
Yeah.
Right? What does this guy have to do? You know, Matt Derrick and I obviously very much disagree on what will be the checkered flag on a successful deal for Kenneth Walker. But this one, I don't need him to outplay Brian Cook. You know, that means somebody else has got to step up and play at a high level, but I think it's entirely possible he will be Brian Cook's equal, and he's going to do it for less money. So this, to me, where they overspent, and if Andy Reid or Eric Bieniemy or DeMarco Murray, I find it hard to believe that DeMarco Murray in his first year could have that kind of clout, but if somebody pounded on the desk and said, listen, we've got to solve the running back spot, that's the guy who fits what we want to do better than anybody else. He's worth the stretch. By going and getting this done, you've kind of made up that money.
Yeah.
Right? That, to me, makes sense. And so it's starting to fit together. These are, not that $7 million is nothing for Tonga, not that $8 million is nothing for Gilman. It is, you know, to me, these are the kind of smart moves. 0 holes.
Yeah.
Like, you need to fill holes. And if you have competent players all over the field and intelligent players all over the field, I have confidence that Steve Spagnuolo and his coaching staff will coach them into the best unit that they can be.
Yeah.
But what you don't want is a gaping hole.
Yeah.
And I think now that this has been done at safety, you know, Chamari Connor, Jaden Hicks, the rest of the crew, you know, you've got a true veteran safety back there. I can see the safety spot coming together. Now I think corner they need. They edge they need. I think they still need another defensive tackle, although they've got 3 now, right? Omar Norman-Lott's going to be back, so with Tonga Lott and Chris Jones, they can line up and play. Do you believe in Felix Onyeudike-Uzomah? If you don't, there's a lot of reason not to. Then they need an edge to line up and play. You need at least 3 of those. They've got 2. And I don't know how much you can expect from Ashton Gelati. Late third, second year. I mean, second year, you got to start to be who he's going to be.
Yeah.
But I liked what I saw.
He won't be caught in the numbers game.
I liked what I saw, but do we know he's better than Mike Dana? I know he's cheaper.
Yeah.
And so I appreciate the fact that they move on from Dana and they go to the cheaper, younger player, and we're not keeping a veteran around at a not an exorbitant contract, but a more expensive contract just to placate. Well, I need a guy who knows. No, you need to coach this guy up. And so I like that approach.
He has more of a ceiling. So
That-
know what Mike Dana's ceiling is.
Yeah, that's going to happen on the defensive backs. Jeffrey Boss is going to have to play at linebacker. I am all for that. We drafted these guys, presumably with coaches signing off on them. It's now time for you to play them and make them better. That's why you have a job. That is what you're here to do. And so I do feel like, well, I think Kenneth Walker was a stretch. It's not the deal that I would have signed. They are falling into a groove now of making the kind of signings that I think are what they need to do to round out this roster.
Yeah. And,
And Tyquan Thornton back at 2 for $11.
And you said,
Which is not, it's not expensive when you consider, $20 million for Michael Pittman?
Yeah.
Can he be 80% of Michael Pittman? He's more of a stretch the field guy and other different receivers as opposed to, but you get my point.
Yeah.
$5.5 million for him. Chad O'Shea was brought in here because they didn't think they were getting enough out of the wide receivers. Tyquan Thornton with a better wide receiver coach, I'm optimistic we're going to see even more, and at times he looked like their best wideout.
And you said, $7 million and $8 million is not nothing, but it's kind of the going rate for guys who fill holes. Okay, we got that guy. Now we don't have to worry about that spot. You really can't do that for less than that. You can find a guy for $3 million a year, but he's not going to fill the hole. He's going to be a guy who's in a rotation. So even though it's not much, it's what you got to do to make sure those positions aren't priorities when draft time comes.
So what is the biggest need right now for the Chiefs?
To me, it's still edge. Wideout is higher than I think a lot of fans would guess, but to me, it's still rushing the passer because you can help your defensive backs by having a guy who can rush the passer. They don't have to cover as long. It's pretty direct cause and effect relationship there. Yeah, to me, it's still edge, and then maybe wideout and some other spots down below, but. Whether they can do that at 9, I don't know. The more mocks you see, the more you think Bailey's going to be long gone. And Bain is a guy who doesn't fit the
Spags mold,
the profile. But if he's there, I saw one mock that had the Chiefs taking. In fact, it was the first mock. It was Field Yates did this last night. It was the first mock that I've seen since the free agent moves of yesterday. And they have the Chiefs taking the corner out of LSU, Mansour Dasani, I think, at 9, and then the Bengals taking Bain at 10. Maybe, but if Bain's there at 9 and the Chiefs don't take him, not that it's the measuring stick, but fans are going to have a conniption, and that will certainly be one of those things you have to measure as the season goes on. How much does profile matter? Can the guy play?
I think if they're at 9, and I think there's a distinct possibility they're looking to trade down.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking at the mock you were talking about. Mendoza, Bailey to the Jets, Arvell Reese to the Cardinals, Carnell Tate to the Titans, just so people know who's come off the board when they have them making this pick. Caleb Downs, the safety from Ohio State, 5 to the Giants. Francis Mauigoa, offensive tackle, to the Browns. Jeremiah Love, 7 to the Commanders. Sonny Styles, 8, Ohio State linebacker, to the Saints. And then Mansour Delane, cornerback from LSU, 9 to the Chiefs. I think if that's it and they don't like Ruben Bain, I think they're looking to move down.
And it might be because we know the things that Bain doesn't have that the Chiefs want. If you look at the write-up of Delane, the last paragraph, Delane did not run a 40-yard dash at the combine, which didn't help ease some questions in the scouting community about his straight-line speed. But he makes up for any potential lack of speed with fundamentally sound coverage play. Now, that's not who I want at 9 if I'm getting a corner. I want a guy who's could be an all-pro.
Yeah.
You don't want a guy who has to make up for a lack of speed with coverage.
Got to have someone that wants to come down to you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's part of the equation as well. So, that will factor in. But, I mean, I still think at 9, if they're going to use 9, offensive tackle, edge, collapse the pocket, defensive tackle, corner, wideout.
Yeah.
These are the positions you're choosing from.
Yep.
And so if there isn't somebody at that position, then you move down, and then you take the best player available. That's where I think they go from here. 913-3-810-810.
And you can get a lot for just the slightest move down from 9. That's a very valuable pick.
913-3-810-810. Let's take a break. We'll take your phone calls coming up next. Kevin, you'll lead us off talking some Chiefs football to get things going. Chiefs, Royal Sporting, Missouri, K-State, KU. Always a topic here in the program. Grab a line, 913-3-810-810. Take your calls right now at 913-381-810. I mentioned Kevin wanted to talk a little Nick Bolton contract. Kevin, lead us off today. You're in the program. What's going on, buddy?
So I didn't like the contract. I'm still not sure I do, just for the record.
Okay.
But there's a question that's been kind of bugging me in the back of my mind that maybe the perspective's off on this. And, you know, as the season went downhill last year, we were really frustrated that Andy Reid didn't adjust to where the NFL is going with light boxes and power running and under center. And is it possible that the very thing we wanted Andy to do, Spags already did when they put that contract out there, and he said, this is where the NFL is going, and because Bolton is in there, we have mostly held, you know, the big-name running backs under control, contained them for the most part, and it was him doing exactly what we wanted Andy to do. And I'm not saying it's true. It's just a question.
I think there's an element of that. I mean, I think he saw, and Kevin, I'm going to let you go because I want to get to as many people as I can here, but I think he saw where things were going. I think that's part of it. I also think he really, really values the green dot guy, and I think he is slow to come around to young players. Listen, if Nick Bolton is the end-all, be-all, why did Anthony Hitchens have to stick around for a year with Nick Bolton playing on the outside? Clearly out of position. It's because Spagnuolo wants that veteran guy. He wants a guy he's worked with, somebody he's comfortable with. That's why I say it's up to Brett Veach and Andy Reid to be like, okay, I know what you'd like, but here's what we're going to do, right? And so I'm with you. The general manager doesn't need to be everybody's buddy. I would live in a vacuum away from the players, let the coaches be their buddies, and I'll be the bad guy. I wouldn't be paying top of the food chain money for middle linebacker and guard like they did last year. Now, I do think it's possible. They said, okay, you want your green dot guy? Okay, but you know this means that we're going to be moving on from your corner. You're not going to be able to keep Trent McDuffie. If we give this kind of money to the middle linebacker, the die is cast, and we're going to have to trade Trent McDuffie. And that may have been the trade-off, right? Because Trent McDuffie by himself makes about, is you know, almost as much as Nick Bolton plus Trey Smith. And I think that was probably part of the discussion as well. Listen, McDuffie's a CAA guy. Right? Like, he's going to want the most money he could possibly get. We're probably not going to want to give that much to a corner. We're good at developing corners. Let's go ahead and keep these other two positions that we think are important right now. I still don't love it, but you can see some logic behind it.
The Scott Boras of football.
I think there's an element of that, for sure. Brad, you're in the program. What's going on, Brad?
Sir, how are you? Love your show. Love the red, gold, and bold. I'm on there every week.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that very much. Sam will be with us later today.
I guarantee it. Question for you. If the Chiefs had $24 million at the start of free agency, and they spent north of $30 million already, shouldn't more restructures and cuts be coming that we don't know about?
Yeah, if you did the average, but I'm going to tell you, so like this 3-year, $24 million deal for the safety is probably going to have I'll have to look. Maybe some of those details are out. A $10 million signing bonus. That's going to be prorated out over 3 years. So let's just say it's 9 for even figures. It gives us $3 million each year. That's going to count against the cap. And then they'll put him on a veteran minimum, which will put him at $1.5 million base. So he'll count $4.5 million in year one. Right? And you can count on that being the case with Kenneth Walker as well. That's why the guaranteed numbers are important to remember, because they're going to get that money. That's why the Dolphins are paying Tua like $60 million, $50 million, whatever it is, even though he's not going to be playing for him, because they guaranteed that money, and so they got to pay him, and he's going to take a league minimum deal with the Falcons while he gets a big bundle of money. The average per year, they can, and that's why I say the Bengals contract was unique yesterday or whenever we got started.
Yeah.
They gave him a 3 for $40 million deal with $18 million in year one. Most teams, it's always stair steps up. It gets more as you go. And by making $18 million in year one, they made it almost impossible for the Chiefs to be able to fit that, because it would have gobbled up all that cap space that you're talking about. The Chiefs like to sign deals low first year, league minimum first year, plus the prorated portion of the signing bonus, and then it stacks up each year. So that's how they get more people in now on that number, but it also means they pay more in 27 and 28. And they get with a bigger cap hit in 27 and 28 as well. Does that make sense?
Makes sense, yeah. Thanks. I appreciate that.
You bet, Brad. Excuse me. 913-381-810. Nevada Bob, you're on the program. What's up, Bob?
Hey, guys. Just wanted to call in. You kind of were verbalizing something I've been thinking for a while. I mean, we're all not going to call it a rebuild year, I'm sure. That's what nobody wants to label it that. But you were talking about the younger guys and the draft picks. This is a let's find out year. This is what it should be. I mean, too many times or not a lot of times, we see a veteran sign. They have a big cap number. They count against the cap, and they're not that great, but we're stuck with them. They go, well, we got to play them because we're paying them all this money. I think we're at that point with draft picks. The defensive ends, the linebackers, the safeties, Hicks, Bassa, FAU, and Zloty. We've drafted these guys. We've spent draft capital on them. It's time to see them play. It's time to say, this is what we've got. When we don't need to go out. I mean, if they go out, and I'm not saying they would sign a mini U, but somebody like that again, and then we're held back on Gelati. And I'm a homer for Felix, so it's not even, I can't really discuss him rationally. But I think those guys that have played small numbers of snaps, it's time to find out. I mean, Mike Dana didn't set the world on fire at any point. And I think those guys with experience, some coaching, fill that gap. And if they don't, then we find that out this year. If Hicks can't play safety in Spag's system, find out. If Boss is never going to be big and strong enough to play linebacker, find that out. And we don't want to call it a rebuild year, but this is the perfect opportunity where things are a little uncertain for other reasons as well, injuries and what have you, to find out. Yeah, we're going to figure this out about these guys.
And in 22 was a year like that as well, and they ended up winning a championship. You didn't know what you had in Trent McDuffie and George Karlaftis and Leo Chenal and Brian Cook and Jalen Watson. You found out, and you found out that they were pretty good, and it added up to a championship. So I agree, and I think that's – listen, there's no doubt that the defense – look, FAU has been legitimately hurt, has had surgeries. Yeah. This is not a Darren Peterson situation where he's sitting on the bench with leg warmers on, right? He's been legitimately hurt, which is frustrating, right? But
she's saying that because I was going to defend him, but I'd always try not to. But yes, it is.
Yeah,
now that is also a factor in what happens down the road too.
Yes,
let's find out and get him help. I mean, I'll use him as an example. I've already admitted to being biased, but just say if you'd given him Mike Dana's snaps, and I know he'd been healthy the last 2 years, I don't know that he's not 90% of what Mike Dana was.
Yeah, I think that it is, like I said, though, he wasn't healthy to get him, but you're right. And maybe and he's another guy. Let's find out about him this year. I agree. It's a reset year, so you have no choice but to find out about your young guys. Tommy, wrap us up this segment. You're in the program. What's up, bud?
Hey, not much. I was hoping we could do a little role play. I'm going to be Tom Cruise, and you're going to be Jack Nicholson, and we're going to do a little Few Good Men. Petro, I was told for the last 2 to 3 weeks, if not 2 to 3 months, that we were going to be $60 million over the salary cap. And in less than 24 hours, we signed not one, not two, but 5 gentlemen totaling guaranteed money well over $60 to $70 million.
Well, then,
can you explain that to me?
Yes, I've explained it the whole time that they would get under the cap by restructuring Patrick Mahomes' deal. That there's an easy move to get most of the way there. They would cut Juwan Taylor. That's $20 million of it. Mike Dana was a cut. They could cut Felix Onyeudike for $2 million more. I don't know if they've had to restructure because I don't know the year by year numbers on these players. I'm assuming like most of the guys are signing are league minimum figures with a signing bonus, so that's bringing that number down. But they cleared out $50 million, like $40 million, I think, with Patrick Mahomes, $20 million with Juwan Taylor. They cleared out, I think it's $9 million with Mike Dana, and they can restructure away a number of different deals. I'm betting that the Travis Kelce deal is their first time for going into the void years because he's a special circumstance as the star that he is. So that number is probably backloaded. They're eating up 27 and 28 cap space right now to make it more palatable in 26. That's what they're doing.
Okay, so you've characterized a lot of times Clark Hunt doesn't give out signing bonuses. Well, it sounds like in the last 24 hours, he wrote, last week he scratched out a check to Patrick Mahomes for $40 to $50 million.
Well, but you can designate, hang on, let me be clear. You can designate something as a signing bonus and not give it all at the time of signing.
But you got to give it.
You do have to give it. Yes, all the money's going. But like when the Eagles do something, I'm going to let you go, Tommy, because I need to run here. When the Eagles do this and they give a big signing bonus, or the Cowboys give $40 million up front, they give it up front. All right there, one lump sum. You can actually prorate that out even, but it still counts as signing bonus because it's guaranteed money. There's different ways to massage it, but they don't throw around the biggest signing bonuses, and they don't do void years, which is basically giving a player a bunch of money for years that you know he's not going to play. Right? So he's averaging $8 million a year. For 5 years, he's going to get $40 million, but 3 of them are void years. He's going to play for 2 years and get $40 million. It's really $20 million a year. Right? That's what the Chiefs don't do. But what they're going down the road of there, I bet we're going to find out that that's what they're doing with Travis Kelce. We'll take a break. We're going to talk some NASCAR. Zayn Smith scheduled to join us next here in the program.
The program with Soren Petro.
He prefers the company of men.
Who doesn't? Weekdays from 2 to 6 on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
All right, listen up. Right now is the time to call All Weather Decks. If you haven't got your dream outdoor living space, I'm talking about a deck, a patio, a screened-in porch. Maybe it's a deck over a patio. Maybe it's one of the all-season rooms. Maybe you want to extend the roof line of your house out over like an all-season or indoor-outdoor kind of sitting area. All Weather Decks can build any project you can dream up. The biggest projects, they've built them in Kansas City. In fact, you can go to allweatherdecks.net and see the map link where they've done jobs all over the metro. I guarantee you they've done some in your neighborhood. They work all over and even on the outskirts of what people would call the metro. They've got multiple crews. That means they can work where other companies don't. It also means they start sooner. About 6 or 7 weeks. Pretty much once you get your estimate, they'll start pulling the permits. When they've got the permits, they're ready to go. And when they show up with the whole crew. We're starting the project sooner, finishing it faster, most importantly, building it better. That's why 24 times they've won the Angie Super Service Award. That's why they carry an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. Great customer service, the best craftsmanship, the most professional company you're going to deal with. Plus, locally owned and operated. That's right, for 15 years. They have been Kansas City's best. All Weather Decks built my dream outdoor living space, and they can do the same for you. Don't you want to be sitting outside having drinks with friends or family? Increasing the usable square footage of your home increases the value of your home and just gives you joy and gives you a great place to sit back and relax. All Weather Decks builds the best outdoor living spaces. All you got to do is call them. Call Cass and the guys. Schedule your free consultation today at 913-206-1974. Tell them you heard about it right here on Sports Radio 810. That's 913-206-1974. And check out the website. Photos of the finished project, the map link, all the awards. You can see them all at allweatherdecks.net. That's allweatherdecks.net, and relax.
Not all meat counters are created equal. Carne Diem delivers premium quality, unbeatable flavor, and cuts you'll actually be excited to cook. Once you taste the difference, you won't go anywhere else. Discover better meat today at Carne Diem in Briarcliff.
Find your safe, reliable, all-wheel drive vehicle now at Subaru of Olathe during the Subaru A Lot to Love event. Shop our great selection of new Subaru models. Plus, only at Subaru of Olathe will you never pay a dock fee. Get started at SubaruofOlathe.com.
And it's Testimonial Tuesday from Ready Services Plumbing and Air Conditioning.
Ready! My technician let me know everything he was doing and finally found the problem. He took his time and he made sure everything was working perfectly before he left. Thank you, Ready Services.
Ready Services Plumbing and Air Conditioning appreciates all of our customers. Always ready since 1957. Saving you money and doing business the right way. Your home of the no-fee emergency. ReadyServices.com.
Ready! Rally House, shop every team in town. College and pro, come on, it's time to go.
It's tournament time. Rally House is the official retailer of the Big 12 Conference. Get all your team gear today at Rally House. On and off the court, we are your home for fan gear all tournament long.
Rally House, Rally House. It's your city, it's your house, it's the Rally House.
Level up your fandom in-store or online at rallyhouse.com.
All right, welcome back here in the program here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Petro, Seaboldt, Collier with you here on a Tuesday. Is it only Tuesday? I'm doing tax prep, and so it feels like it's about Friday because of how late I've been up trying to get all that crap done. Thanks, Uncle Sam. I know. I want my roads. I get it. I got it. It sucks putting it all together, okay? Give me a moment here.
Takes a little time.
We got a lot coming your way. Frank Bowles still to come. Sam McDowell, columnist for the Star, will be with us in the 4. Gary Parrish from CBS Sports talking college basketball in the 5. A segment for me and race fans here. We're going to talk some racing. You know, Kansas Speedway will be hosting its first of 2 races coming up on April 19th. You can get your tickets at kansasspeedway.com. We welcome the driver of the number 38 car, Zayn Smith. He joins us here in the program. Zayn, how are you, sir?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I appreciate the time. I'm glad I get to talk to you coming right off of Phoenix because, look, full disclosure, I think I'm a pretty big race fan. Right, like I love when racing season comes around and I can have the race on while I'm a talk show host, so I'm kind of a glorified just couch potato, watching stuff and getting stuff done while things are on. And so I love when the races are on, and I love unique tracks. Okay, but I have no idea, no concept of what it is to drive at some of these tracks. And so when I watch you guys at Phoenix cut the corner and then head up the embankment, I feel like I have done driving experiences where I have, the vaguest idea of what it is to be in a race car. Does that beat the hell out of you, dropping down onto the apron and then bouncing back up onto the bank turns there at Phoenix?
Yes, it does.
Okay, good.
That is, yeah, that's
not
that's
good. Like, and I don't mean good. Like I'm glad it beat you up, but I'm like, because I looked at that going, God, that looks like it would suck.
Yeah. I think I had an in-car this past weekend, and people actually mentioned that to me. And so, yeah, it's definitely super violent, and definitely one of the cons we have to have, but it's part of it. And certain tracks are different. You know, some of the road courses we go to as well, where we got to jump the curbs for just speed. And to straighten some things out, lap time wise and whatnot, that could be violent. And so, it depends on the racetrack you go to. Your point where, they're all a little bit different, and it's just something that you kind of have to deal with. Though I will say, once you do it a few times, you kind of get used to it, and then once Monday comes around, I feel like you pay for it a little bit on the soreness side, but it all eventually goes away, it seems like.
Yeah. I listen, not to belabor the point, but I am just fascinated by it because it is so different. You are right. I know every, track has its nuance of where there's a dip or, different things that are in it. Every 1.5 mile ain't the same as every other 1.5 mile. But this one with that cutting down on the apron and guys getting, I think, at 1.6 or 7 wide, and then it closing down into, what it kind of becomes then more of a traditional track on that. Like, how much getting used to it does it take when you fan out and then you collapse down of like feeling like the walls are closing in on you?
Yeah, it's definitely something that I feel like where our spotters come into play at a place like Phoenix. You get a run off of turn 4 there, and it depends. Like if you want to fan out that way to take some distance, because it does ultimately equal distance. It looks like it should take a lot more, but it really doesn't. And then there's other variables of whether you want to. It's rough not only on us, but it's rough on the car, especially with low air pressure that will run early in runs. And then, it eventually has to end up being about 2, maybe 3 wide. You can't run 6 wide forever, so there has to be some give and take by somebody. And so that's where just the restarts get crazy there. And it's put on a great show in the past for some restart things, but it's always a ton of fun and one of my favorites.
So if it were left up to you, would you cut the race or would you keep the race in Phoenix?
In what?
Like if they said, okay, Zane, you get to pick, we're going to eliminate a race. Like, would it be one of your races? You'd be like, let's not mess with this, or do you like it? Does the nuance, is entertaining, and is it something you enjoy, even though it does take a pounding? Do you like how the race presents a different challenge?
Yeah, I mean, definitely I want to keep Phoenix on the schedule. I feel like it's great to have a West Coast race in there, especially me being from Huntington Beach, California, and it was our championship race there for quite a while, and yeah, definitely I want to see it stay on the schedule. Some great fans there and a great racetrack.
All right, speaking of different tracks, and you being from California, San Diego is going to replace the Chicago street race, and you're going to, as I understand it, one of the things you're going to be coming down through a couple of parked aircraft carriers as to how they're going to do this. Have you, how much do you get simulator time? Do you have an idea? Did you guys get to test on how much prep do you get before you actually just get there race week?
Yeah, definitely. Here soon, all the manufacturers should have a track scan to where we'll be able to start doing some simulation prep and be able to try to get some laps under our belt virtually. And then, yeah, it's going to be a ton of fun, and man, just such a cool weekend. That's going to be obviously racing on the naval base, and it's going to make for we better have, I'll say, the best flyover that NASCAR has ever had because we have all the resources to do it. It was really cool to go down there and obviously be a part of that announcement. And yeah, it's just, I think it has everyone extremely excited. Chicago is super cool, and this is a new taste of that. And I think it's gonna be a race of its own, and I think it's going to be talked about for years. And it's just even more special to me because it's a SoCal race, and I feel like since I've been in the Cup Series, we haven't had that in NASCAR, and so I'm super excited that's on the calendar, and I can't wait to get down there and get that weekend started.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really cool. I like the Chicago. I like anything that's different. I mean, I like seeing you guys. I like seeing the big cars on the road track. I like the Mexico race. I thought was fun after having watched that a lot of times, with F1 cars down there. Seeing the bigger cars bang around on that, I thought the Mexico race is an entertaining race. The more unique races, the more I like it. But I know a lot of traditionalists probably hate it. Do you get pushback from the old school Southeastern, NASCAR fans that they don't like those, all these different, road courses and different locations? They wish they were just running everything around the Carolinas and Tennessee and Alabama and everything.
Honestly, you see, I feel like people only like to post negative things on social media. So I feel like where a lot of that comes is from that. But man, to be honest, it's really cool to go to these new venues, to your point, and see the new fans that we introduce. Though at the same time, I feel like we got to recognize and know our brand, and know our core group of fans and understand that. And I feel like, especially recently, we've been doing a great job of that. Just speaking for NASCAR, and so yeah, that part is super cool. And yeah, like Mexico City was a fun racetrack and whatnot, but at the same time, it was a little bit of a logistical nightmare, which is tough for us because we're racing 38 times a year and really never an off week. I know we have two this year, but man, it's tough to make it all go around as is. And so a few of these crazy races that get thrown in there could be a little bit more difficult than some people think. And yeah, I think just recognizing what your sport came from and who got you there is super important. And I feel like we're doing a great job of understanding that and applying it as well.
Take me through. We're talking to Zayn Smith. He is the driver of the number 38 Front Row Motorsports Ford. Tell me, what is a typical week like for you? For fans that don't have any idea, just see you show up, get in the car, and go, and think you're working one day a week. Because everybody thinks, being a talk show host, I roll out of bed about 1:30 p. I'm on the air at 2. I'm done at 6, and there's nothing else to do around it. And I'm sure that you get a lot of that people don't realize how much goes into your race week. What is a typical week from you finish one race all the way up to when you're starting the next?
Yeah, it's definitely, to my point, what I was saying earlier, just it's a complete grind of a year. Just we never have a home game, so it's a lot of traveling. I feel like once you do get into the season, you do get a little bit of a rhythm going for sure. Of you get in real late on Sunday after the race, and then when Monday comes around, every team and everyone is different. But Monday for me is pretty much the most relaxing day. I feel like I try to do a whole lot of nothing, and then but a few phone calls get thrown in there that might pop up, and then Tuesday is where the week starts back up. And so my day starts with meetings from pretty much right when I get up. I think my first one is around 7:30, and then they go all the way just past lunch, and then depending on different media obligations that you might have, it could be followed up with that. And then as the summer months are coming around, I think it's super important to be doing heat training. Our cars get up to 140, 150 degrees.
Good Lord.
In the race, and so being prepared and physically prepared for that is super important. And so some training mixed in there, and Tuesday and Wednesday, and then Wednesday can easily look the same as Tuesday from a meeting standpoint, and but I'd say that's more so a training day, and then trying to do at least as possible on that at the same time. And then come Thursday, that is my simulation day, so we'll do the simulator of the upcoming race for that week and the following week to get a little bit ahead on that. And then there's always a thing or two mixed in there, and then it's Friday now, and we are flying out to the next race weekend, and yeah, so we will fly out to Vegas on Friday, which is a full-day flight pretty much, and a full travel day. And then there's different in-town, market things that we'll have to do. So we have a few different obligations that I'll have on Friday right when I land, and then we'll have practice qualifying and different things we got to do around the track on Saturday. And then it is Sunday, and typically around 500 miles of racing, and trying to execute a good race weekend and do it all over again for 37 more.
Rinse and repeat, right? Yeah. We're talking to Zayn Smith. Kansas Speedway comes up on April 19th for the first race. You can get your tickets by going to kansasspeedway.com, as NASCAR will be here on that day, the 19th. Tell me, Kansas Speedway, just what do you think of it as a track? It's one of the kind of traditional 1.5 miles, is it, what are the challenges that Kansas Speedway brings when you're here?
Man, to be honest, Kansas has always been one of my favorites, if not my favorite. I've always said I think Kansas, Darlington, and definitely Homestead, Miami are just some of my favorite racetracks. And so Kansas has been good to me in the past of a few top 10 runs, and then on the Cup side, and then I've been able to win there in the Truck Series, and had multiple shots at winning other ones on the truck side. And I enjoy it. It's how that place is aged, I think has a lot to do with it. It's just the perfect amount of tire fall off that we have right now, in my opinion. And it's just a great example of why progressive banking is so good at a racetrack. And Kansas has just so many options. This next-gen car that we race, obviously, really shines on 1.5 miles, and this is just the ideal one, in my opinion, for a next-gen Cup car. So, put on some great racing in the past, always a beautiful facility, and we've been really lucky with good weather there for the past few years. And so hopefully we keep that trend alive, but definitely one of my favorites.
We're talking to Zayn Smith here in the program. Zayn, I like to finish up with what I call the final four quickies. It's a couple words, maybe a sentence or two. You don't need to go too in-depth, but I just get your thoughts on a few random thoughts here. Let's start with this. What's your favorite racing movie?
Ooh, favorite racing movie. I got to go with Senna.
Okay, yeah, the documentary, that's a fantastic one. Or you talk about the little docu-series they did that was like 4 or 5 episodes.
I'm gonna go with the documentary that I believe is on Netflix.
Yeah.
I kind of count that as a movie, but it's better answer than Talladega Nights, I think, that everyone gets.
I love Senna. Senna's great. Senna made my daughter a racing fan watching that movie, so now she's into racing too. So I'm a huge fan of that one. So that's a great one. How many speeding tickets you got in your life?
Oh, shoot! I'm trying to find some wood I could knock on, but I'm probably around 2.
Oh, wow! Holy cow! That's fantastic. I mean, you're a choir boy. Good Lord. All right. I know he's not running your team, but when, arguably the greatest of his sport is walking around in your pits, you ever gone up and gotten Michael Jordan's autograph?
No, I have not. But, man, it's definitely very cool to see him around the racetrack. And, man, he is so into it, just truly and naturally. And so that's really cool out of all people, to have a massive athlete, just of what he's accomplished, truly be into our sport is really cool. But he's just walking around like any other guy at these NASCAR races. So if you're ever at one, you never know when you're going to run into him.
Yeah, his reaction on Tyler Reddick's third one. I have not seen that man, on TV. I don't know him obviously, but that showed that kind of joy publicly since he was winning a championship with the Chicago Bulls. I mean, he was like a kid in the candy store. It was really cool to watch, knowing what kind of an intense, grinding competitor he is. To see him just have that sheer moment of joy was pretty cool. All right, finally, if you weren't a race car driver, what would you be?
Oh, well, it's all I've ever known. I don't even know.
Your dad's in the off-road racing, right?
He was a fabricator for an off-road race team.
Okay, so yeah, it's in your blood.
An off-road race team for all my time growing up. But I'm trying to think anything outside of racing. I'm a big dog lover, so I don't know anything I could try to figure out where I'm involved with dogs would be really cool.
Okay, that's a good answer. I like that one. Hey, Zayn, thanks so much for giving us some of your time. We can't wait to see you guys get here. Again, it's April 19th, Kansas Speedway. You can get tickets by going to kansasspeedway.com. It's great getting a chance to talk to you, and hopefully we'll get to do it again down the road.
Yep, sounds good. Thanks, Van.
All right, thank you. Zayn Smith, the driver of the number 38 Front Row Motorsports car, and 2 top 10 finishes for Zayn this year. Got wrecked. It's tough when things pile up right in front of you. Rubbing is racing, Kurtis.
It is. That's what I've heard.
I love it. Talladega Nights. You got to love the kid. He's too young to be like Days of Thunder. Like Days of Thunder is now like, old man movie.
Godfather.
It's like a Paul Newman. There's a Paul Newman race movie about the 24 Hours of Le Mans. It's like no idea.
Grand Prix.
But I'll give Zayn credit. That Senna documentary ain't new.
No.
That's
it's been out for a bit.
Yeah, it's been out for a while, but it's really good if you do like racing. It's about an F1 driver named Ayrton Senna.
If you don't like racing, it's just very compelling.
It's a really good documentary about him. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, the Godfather, Frank Bold, joins us next.
All right, what man has coached the most Big 12 tournament games without a win? Brought to you by La Feta Delicatessen.
He's the only man to interview modern-day gladiators at Arrowhead and original gladiators in the Coliseum. He grew up rooting for Honus Wagner and saw Jesse Owens get 4 golds in Berlin. He saw Wilt score 100 in a night. Points, of course. Yes, we are saying he's old. It's the godfather of Kansas City sports, Frank Bowl, on the program.
Shut up, Curtis.
I have VAR Utu.
The Shavarks.
I have VAR Urtu.
It's a little early for our summer freeze we go through here in the studio.
The funny part is it'll be warmer in here tomorrow when it's 45.
You know what? It always is. Sweat in the winter and freeze in the...
How many years?
We're
you really going to work in a T-shirt? I'm like, honey, it's 90 in the the
Yeah.
It's
10
basically
degrees outside. I know it's 90 in the studio. Why are you wearing a long sleeve shirt on a 90-degree day? Because it's 40 in the studio.
It's basically the San Francisco of indoor San Francisco. It's cold as hell in the summer and warm in the fall.
That's a great
What is going on here?
Yeah,
I like that.
There you go.
I love that. Okay, now I know.
Yeah, now you know.
That's right.
The rest of the story.
Now you don't
get myself a hoodie for the summer.
You should.
I'm going to.
Good.
I do bring an extra, usually in a car, and I'll come in here and I'll go, okay, I need to go back out the car and get my
thermals.
Get my thermals on.
Yeah.
It was 85
bad
degrees,
circulation.
but Soren felt the need to wear a hoodie because it was freezing cold in the studio. Now you know.
I thought you said don't get you started, and then you
And then
start
I went
yourself.
anyway.
You're like a chatty Cathy dog, except you keep pulling your own string.
Ooh,
Can you name that movie?
Some internal dialogue?
Can you name that movie? I am
cannot.
paid to talk.
Oh.
Supposed to talk.
What am I paid to do?
Just help.
Receive?
Yes. Now you got it.
You're paid to take shots.
I usually have to walk in and sort of start it and then step back, but
Yeah.
not today.
No, not today.
No, not today.
Not today.
Didn't have to do a thing today.
We're paying you, aren't we?
True.
You know,
Already percolating before.
We.
it's my like that's an underrated line from
great.
Ghostbusters,
Yes.
where she's complaining about like I haven't had a day off, and this guy's like, oh, we're paying you, aren't we? I've quit better jobs than this. Ghostbusters, what do you want? So Frank, how are you, buddy?
I am great. How are you?
Good. I got to
Good?
talk to Zayn Smith. I like the
know.
NASCAR.
I like
so-
that. He was great.
Yeah,
He was
fun
awesome.
to talk to.
Very honest about the tracks.
Mm-hmm.
Likes Kansas Speedway.
I do like that Phoenix track.
The
He may
Phoenix-
feel like crap today, but
Yeah.
I do like when they come pouring down onto the. If people don't know, it's a weird kind of. It's not a tri-oval and it's not an oval and it's got this weird turn. In fact, when they run the Indy car the day before, and Indy puts up an extra wall so they can't. Those cars couldn't handle it. The open wheels couldn't handle the banging down on because you come off that bank.
Oh, yes.
It's not an easy transition. And so they slam down on it and then slam back up. And
they're so, they are.
I don't want to drive it, but I enjoy watching it.
The Indy cars seem to be a little flimsier, of course, than the NASCARs, naturally. But those outside wheels like that, there's not a whole lot there to keep them on if they slam into something that isn't.
They've done a
Just
better
isn't
job of
right.
building up the car in between the wheels so that they don't get that launch where they,
Right.
when they used to have all that open space, you get a wheel inside, then you go over the wheel and
fly.
off it goes. And they've done that. They've done a better job of that with Indy
and that's
F1.
to protect the driver as well. So.
But yeah, looking forward to that San Diego. I always like it when they come here, but that San Diego race where they're going to be racing around. I'm trying to figure. I guess it's on Coronado Island.
Right.
So if you ever been to San Diego, if you go to downtown San Diego and you look across the harbor, there's usually a lot of times at least one, if not two aircraft carriers out there. And it's going to be over on that island is where they're going to do it.
Right.
And they're going to be going in between aircraft carriers.
Yes.
So I don't know if they're
there.
If they're going up, if they're there.
They might be somewhere else. Right
Well,
I
don't know. Photo,
okay, never mind.
Photo op for the fellas. I'll bet they bring it back.
Bring it back. That's it.
Frank, it's almost over. Relax. Look at you. Get to the mic and giggle. Gutless.
it is. It's almost
Don't
over.
fill up today.
Okay.
We're almost done.
All right.
So this is be
Don't worry.
way
Wait,
cheaper.
Hold on.
Way
We're
cheaper
bringing
later.
them back for the race.
So
Okay,
what-
we're good.
So one
We're
thing
good.
this
We're going to bring them back. For
one
the
thing this
race.
country knows how to do, it's get the hell out of a war. And I'll tell you what, lickety split.
The irony that I'm the one who's sitting here quietly.
I opened that can
I'm-
of worms.
I'm throwing. I am not. That is not a party statement.
Nope.
This country can't get out of a war. So
That is
I don't.
true.
I don't give a crap which team you play for. No, well, you ain't either one of you ever gotten out of it. So
Our
anyway.
economy has been based on war since 1776. Okay, so you talk about forever war. Okay.
All right.
All right. Never mind. James.
How about those Bears? Hell of a team. Hell of a team.
How about it?
Hey, how about that?
Those aren't two wars.
That's it. How about
Anyway.
that Nick Bolton contract? How
Yeah,
about that?
how about that? Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
Managed to take politics, war, and planes, trains, and automobiles, uncomfortable wake up scene, and blend them together.
And Ghostbusters.
Yeah, and
Don't forget
Ghostbusters.
them
Yeah.
Ghostbusters.
Playing the hits here today.
There you
people.
go. Okay.
So, where do you want to go, Frank? You want to talk basketball? You want to talk Bobby Witt Jr. superstar?
You want to take a break? Okay.
You walked in here, sat
Okay.
down, and you didn't think this is where we were going to go, did you?
No, I did not. No. Oh, but it does my heart good.
You never know.
I love that laugh.
You never know.
Okay.
You know?
Bobby Witt Jr., we can go there. I know the basketball thing until we get to the NCAAs really is.
All right.
I'm worried
So
about the floor
let's-
at the T-Mobile Center.
It
But
looks like they went back
besides
to
that,
the lighter shaded floor today. The Schwarzenegger game.
what I don't.
The one they
Why
had with
are you
with
watching
the darker,
a game now?
I'm not watching a game now.
You said you were watching an earlier game.
It was the one that started at 11:30.
Yeah,
11:30
but
this
like, I don't
morning.
even know, like it's not anybody good, is it?
No, but I did manage to look and see the court for
Okay.
a couple seconds.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we got important things we're doing here, and you're
What a-
just sitting around.
What a weird
Playing
question. Why are
grab
you
ass
watching
watching TV.
sports? You think this is a sports radio station? The hell are you doing watching a basketball game played in this town?
Oh God.
You always act like you're so swamped.
I never act like I'm sorry. Boy, every accusation is an admission.
Oh.
Yeah. Here we go.
Here we are.
Yep.
Oh boy. Okay.
What
All
is it?
right, go ahead.
Where is it? The money is in. What is it? The hot dog stand? Is it a hot dog stand? What the hell is it? I've only watched part of that show. You know what that's from? Oh, that's from Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah.
I was thinking of the one with Jason Bateman that kind of jumped his career. Bateman and
Arrested Development.
Arrested Development. Yeah. Where's the money's in the banana
Screaming in their
stand?
car.
Are they bananas? Is it a banana stand? I think it's a banana stand. I can't remember what the hell the family's got, but it's like chocolate. They dip the bananas in chocolate or something. I don't know. It's a funny show.
Yeah.
I'm about 12
Arrested
episodes into I don't know, it's got like 9 seasons and 26 episodes each because it was originally made for TV.
140 hours worth.
None of this
is coming
8
up.
episodes, 29-minute crap.
Yeah, I know.
26
This has got to
episodes.
get us
They're rare
through
anyway.
4 months.
You were correct, a banana stand.
The banana stand. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I couldn't remember what it was. Stupid ass. Burn it
Bruce
down.
original frozen banana. That's
Yeah,
what it is.
that's right. They were frozen bananas too.
It's a funny show.
Yes.
I need to. I just kind of watch it when I'm not watching something else, but I need to just hunker down and power through that one. Frank.
Yes.
Bobby Witt Jr.
Yes.
Getting a lot of hype.
Yeah.
I heard Jason Anderson say today Bobby Witt Jr. is the best player in baseball.
Uh-huh.
To which my immediate reaction was settle down. Okay. And Jason's my boy, so I think we can talk. I get his point. He said, we talk about base running, you talk about everything. Yes,
Yeah.
he is the best all-around player.
Uh-huh.
But the best player is Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
Man hit 3 home runs and struck out 10 in a playoff game.
He's the first player in my lifetime that you could actually look at and legitimately say, is he better than Babe Ruth?
I think he's also had
That's the only guy who could ever come close.
hasn't
Okay,
he?
I'm
Sorry, I'm sorry,
no,
Frank,
go ahead. No,
but
you're fine.
isn't
You're
Shohei's when he 50-50'd? He's the
Yeah.
only 50-50 guy.
Yeah.
And it isn't that a bigger stolen base total than I know. Did Bobby 30-50?
Like he
came up shooting with 30-49, right?
Yeah, 30.
Yeah, so Shohei's got a bigger stolen base year than Bobby's ever had.
Yeah,
while hitting 50 bombs.
Like I wish.
Pitching.
And pitching.
And I will tell you, though, that if anybody else in baseball is going to 50-50, it is Bobby Witt Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I think that's the
He's
only
the only
guy
player right now.
I mean, maybe, there are some guys with a lot of talent.
The new dimensions might help a little bit.
Yeah. But I mean, I just think you got to have the first thing to 50-50ing is having 50 stolen base speed.
Yeah.
Like there, I'm not gonna say there are a lot of guys, but there are guys that if they just went all out for the home run, could probably chase that 50 home run, but they're never. Vinny Pasquantino might be able to have a year, and be at like, he's at 31 with,
at the All-Star break,
40 games to go or something. He's got a shot. Like he could do it, but he ain't gonna get to 50 SP. So, there's guys like.
He's the only other guy.
Back in the day, Ronald Acuna, if his legs are still good, there's some young guys like Jackson Churio, who looks like he's a dual threat, power speed guy. Byron Buxton, if he would ever be healthy.
Is Caminero no?
He's not a speed guy. He's just a
boy. He can
bomb it. Oh, he could. Yes, it's the only thing I did right on my American League fantasy
crazy
team.
Power.
Was draft Junior Caminero in the minors, yeah, he's last night. What I agree 100% with that Jason said was last night was the beginning, or I would say laid the foundation for a Bobby Witt Jr. MVP campaign.
Yeah,
that was a big game. Everybody in the country was watching. They know his name from finishing second 2 years ago, finishing fourth last year, being in All-Star games, and they just saw two of the greatest defensive plays. I mean, maybe the greatest defensive plays we've seen in a World Baseball Classic. Yeah. As good a play as you can make defensively at shortstop. Twice. And a hustle double. And
he was all anybody was talking about after the game.
Yeah,
was Bobby Witt Jr.
including
Aaron Judge.
Including guys from both teams.
Paul Skeens and Aaron Judge talking about him. And David Lesky has been pointing out that his walk rate is up. Now it's a handful of games in spring training and the World Baseball Classic. But if he is now going to lay off some bad pitches
for one, Eric Hosmer won't be on me.
Jason may be not that I was laughing at him. I wasn't laughing at him. I was just disagreeing with him. But Jason may be laughing his ass off at me at the end of the year when he goes, "I told you!" Because if he's going to lay off with all the other skills that he has, he may end up being the best player in baseball at the end of this year.
Right, and if he does...
And Shohei Ohtani's not getting younger. He's past 30 now, like every other Dodger. So, I mean, there's a path. There's certainly a window, because Judge is, 33 now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he hit very old. He was 27, I think, when he
came up.
Really
so he might even be older. But there's a path to where there's going to be a window for 2 or 3 years that he may very well be undeniably the best player in baseball.
Yeah, and in the pitching, and as far as pitchers against him, you don't want to give him a good pitch to hit, but you don't want to walk him either, because he's just going to be on second base before you know. It's going to be like, okay, he just hit a double off me. That's exactly what walking him is going to do.
Judge will be 34 in April.
Right. And the other thing about him is there's an instinct to stealing bases too. It's not just his speed. It's not just being fast. It's being able to study the pitcher and get the jump, knowing exactly when to go.
Well, that's what he did a better job of last year.
Yeah.
Annie Rogers, will give credit. You hear her every week on New Day with Steven. And, that was one of the, I thought, great piece that she put together last year from spring training and talking to Bobby, and had a bunch of quotes from him, was about, how he really did that. And she quantified it like if he can get, Michael Garcia's speed was nowhere near Bobby Witt Jr.'s, but he got a better jump by, I'd have to go back and read the story, 0.2 of a second, 0.3 of a second. He got a bigger lead by like 3 feet. Like it all equated to him basically getting there, even though he's not nearly as fast, getting to second base, 3-4 feet ahead of Bobby Witt Jr. because he could take the bigger lead. He knew the pitchers better. He could get the better jump, and how that quantified into, she did a great job laying it all out. It was my favorite piece of last spring training, and of course Bobby came out, I think started like 2 for 4. It's like, well, but then over the course of the year, his success rate was way up, paid big dividends. And so he reminds me of the guy who's like just always been bigger, stronger, faster. Never really had to, I'm not going to say not apply himself. There's obviously a ton of work in the cage and all that. But the nuances of the game, he could just run past.
Yeah.
Now he said, let me add the nuances of the game. Reminds me of kind of like Magic Johnson. Like in the offseason, 1 year Magic's like, all right, I'm going to develop a hook. All right, you know what? I'm gonna add the 3. I'm going to work on, and would just work on one thing to expand his game. Feels like that might be Bobby Witt Jr. Like last year it was getting better jumps and being a better base runner. This year it's taking pitches.
Yeah.
That he spent the offseason learning to be better at what pitches not to chase. And if he's going to do that, all that physical ability, a passion for the game, and then a work ethic.
Yeah.
Okay.
He has never taken anything for granted. That's the biggest thing about him, a great athlete like that. It's a great lesson for young people. Look how great Bobby Witt. It's not all natural. There's a lot of it that he has studied, even like George Brett, when George Brett was coming through. A lot of it, defense, hitting.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie Lau. I mean, he stood there and he listened to him, and he understood, and he took his beatings early, and all of a sudden he became 3-time Silver Slugger Award winner, one in every decade. I mean, it's just they listen, they get it, and then they work at it, and they become who they become.
And he's got protection in
Yeah,
the
he
lineup.
does.
He's going to get pitches to hit.
What kind of year will he have if they platoon Isbell and Lane Thomas and it becomes a 325, 330 on base spot in the 9 hole? And at 8, if 7 is Salvi, like that's the one thing about Salvador Perez where people are like, oh, no, Salvi batting, he needs to get out. Well, no one would be bitching if Salvador Perez was batting 6th or 7th.
No.
Right? With his power. Yes, it's not ideal on base percentage, but even Salvi's, like the whole team seems to have a better approach. And Salvi's not chasing as much as he did. Again, I'll credit David Lesky for grinding through a bunch of the numbers. He was pointing that out on the show, but also on our Kaufman Corner podcast. And it was like, oh, wow. Like maybe the new hitting coaches with Alex Zumwalt are all coming together, and we're going to see a dividend. But if Bobby Witt Jr. has those guys getting on at the bottom, and then they can figure out the leadoff, whether it's Jonathan India getting back to 350-something or Isaac Collins having a 370 on base like he did last year, and he hits 2, and then you've got behind him, and if Carter Jensen and Jack Caglione end up being the real deal, there's no holes in the lineup. I mean,
you're looking like at 15-ish, but with more power.
I think the goal is to be 100 runs better this year than you were last year.
Yeah.
1, it's a nice round number.
And you don't really have
2,
to. Yeah.
it would still not equal what led this division. Because there were 107 runs behind the Tigers, right? I think that was the number we came up with. But I think the pieces are there if they stay healthy to add 100 runs. Because they dropped off 40, 50 from the year before. So if they can just regress back to the mean of what they were in 24 and then get better, it doesn't seem quite as far away as 100 runs should really sound.
Plus, there's a couple other things here,
it's
too.
also spring, and I'm a clown Royals fan, so maybe I'm just being stupid and
I don't
optimistic.
think you have to squint too hard to see,
I don't think
see
so
that.
either.
I mean, not as much as you have in past years, because you've got at least four bona fide offensive threats. I mean, you've already with Garcia's kind of explosion last year, Pasquantino 30 and 100, Bobby and Perez with 30. You're like, okay, there's 4 guys you could reasonably expect to have some offensive production. Maybe Pasquantino and Witt a little bit more reliable because Miguel Garcia has to.
Yeah, but all of them did have production last year, and they still sucked.
That's true.
So the key is the other guys.
But your hope is that those 4 you can start with, and then you just add on from that. They didn't have even those 4 that you knew about coming into last year. There were still some questions. Now Garcia is going to probably be pitched a little differently. He'll be more of a focal point for scouting reports, but at some point, teams were adjusting to him last year, and he was still hitting, so you'd like to think that's going to continue. And then you just got to add a couple more guys, and if you get to 6, you're like, okay, wait a minute. There are way more hitters than holes in this lineup.
Yeah, the other thing is, too, their pitching staff's good. I mean, that is real. That's a very important part of this equation.
They can't possibly be as hurt as they were a year
ago.
Right.
And
I can't imagine any team this year is going to have as many DL stints in their starting rotation as the Royals did.
As the Royals did, yeah. And the other thing I think everybody's thinking, like I think we are thinking, is that there might not be a next season, not this coming season, but a next season. And I think that ratchets everything up too in order to get something done and get to the playoffs. Get in the playoffs, make some noise, and
I have no doubt the Royals are going to be on the precipice of being dominant, and then we're going to have a strike. That's exactly how it works.
The Expos with the new version of that '94 Expos.
Oh, this team is loaded. Caglione has 32 home runs at the All-Star break, and and then next year it's like, okay, here they come. No.
Sorry.
Sorry, not going to play. By the way, is Tariq Skubal a clown?
Is he a clown?
55 pitches in the door, ain't coming back to pitching any more of these WBC games. You got Paul Skeens paying for Air Force cadets to come watch the game, talking about how, when I was in the Air Force, he went to the Air Force Academy, if people didn't know, and then transferred before he would be obligated because he's like, well, I got one shot to give this baseball career thing a work.
You have to get out after your second year. You got to make a decision.
And so, but he talked about, he said, it was like when I was in the Air Force, your name's on your right side and the flag is over your heart. He goes, I feel the same way putting on this uniform to play for Team USA as I felt for putting on my Air Force uniform. And you're like, oh wow, man, what a guy. And then School's
a great player.
School's like, pitcher. I gave you 55 pitches.
What do you want? You want more?
I'm in a walk here. I'm in a contract here. I got to get back to Florida and get ready to make some money.
I would have said, then walk. I don't. How about no pitches?
Well, how about if you come in and say, I'm not going to play? I'm sorry. I'm just not going to play in the World Baseball Classic. I'm going to stay at spring training. You could have done that easily.
Did you send me
in or you're out?
Who was it? You're the one who had the what's Paul Skeen's?
Olivia Dunn.
Olivia Dunn, the gymnast from LSU.
The original NIL. She was the one that cashed in.
Yeah,
she made $3 million, I think.
Oh wow!
Right out, yeah.
But very attractive lady, and she put out an Instagram. Was it on Instagram or was it a tweet?
I think it was a tweet. No,
a tweet that had her, and she's the significant other, Paul Skeens.
Yeah.
It had the two of them walking, and Skeens is looking back.
It's the famous meme that people have seen where there's a couple and the guy's looking
at a gal who is walking the other way, and the girl's all upset.
Oh yeah.
Except for what she did was over the girl, as Skeens looking back at the girl, she put Bobby Wood Jr.'s face on the girl. So he's like, oh man,
and she's obviously going, what's the deal?
That's
pretty funny
because Skeens and Aaron Judge just gushed over Bobby Wood Jr. last night in the post game. Well, in game interview with Paul Skeens, and then post game interview with Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
And so, how about that for a sense of humor? She puts it, here's my guy. Checking out Bobby. Can't get enough of Bobby. It's pretty good. There, you got it?
Yep.
Show Frank. I haven't seen it.
Let me see it again. Yeah.
Hold on. I'll retweet that for those who haven't
that
seen
is
it.
excellent.
That's pretty
great.
good.
Yeah, it is pretty good.
Yeah, nice to know she's got a sense of humor.
Yeah, she was the original, too. She's the name, image, likeness, the real thing, because she's a gymnast. She's not a football player, a basketball player, whatever. And she made a bundle. That was years ago.
Yeah.
When they first started talking about this.
Yeah. So anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Kenneth Walker.
Yeah. Hope he can stay in the field.
Walker, Kansas City Chief.
I just hope, he's been in and out of the lineup a little bit.
Yeah.
And, was banged up and nicked up, and he didn't, he was splitting time last year. And then had to come on and take over the full load at the end of the season in the playoffs, and he just accelerated. But I think he was pretty well rested by that time. Not totally, because everybody's a little nicked up anyway, but he didn't have to carry the full load last year for Seattle. So when he came back and when he did his thing, it was right at the right time, and everything worked out, and certainly worked out for him because he got himself a hell of a contract.
What makes this contract a success?
Well, he has to play on at least one Super Bowl winning team.
So you're doing the same thing Matt Derrick did. I ask you what makes his contract a success, and it's tied only to the team's overall performance.
Yeah, because he's going to be an important part of it.
So if he rushes for 1,500 yards 3 years in a row, catches 500 yards 3 years in a row, and scores 15 touchdowns 3 years in a row, and they don't get to the Super Bowl, you're going to be like, bad contract.
No, you asked me what I think. I think he has to play on a Super Bowl. He has to be on a Super Bowl winning team within the next 3 years. for the Chiefs, which I don't think's out
That's
of.
too much to put on a running back. I think there are two people you put that on, and it's a head coach and a quarterback.
No. I'm talking about him being a major part of going and winning a Super Bowl.
But I think if he has a monster season and they can't stop anybody, or he doesn't win.
I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, so that sucks.
Yeah, that sucks.
It's
terrible.
I get the idea that the whole point of signing a guy like that is so you can win a Super Bowl.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Okay.
Every signing is based upon winning a Super Bowl. Now, to your point, I will say that they, in my opinion, overpaid to get what they thought was the top running back, and so you could say like, well, if you're going to go into the red, right, to use an engine, then okay. It has to work out from a team standpoint, not just him statistically. I will listen to that. I do get where you're coming from on the, like, this is not a signing you're making to be competitive.
No.
Right? This is supposed to put you over the top. Yeah. But I do agree with what Kurtis said. It's unfair to put on a running back. You must make the Super Bowl or you failed.
Yeah, it would be a situation where if it was not a successful, it wouldn't be because of Walker, but because of what that money caused
I was going to say
the other team to do.
What the signing
if you commit so
did.
much to that other team parts of the team fall apart.
Right.
So I can kind of see that gray area in between them. You're not really putting it on Walker to have a monster year or to win the Super Bowl. You're putting it on the money that he's being paid.
Right. And you're also putting it on him that the defense now has to pay way more attention to the Chiefs running game, which will help everything else. And he's got to be on the field in order to do that. And I just worry about his injury situation.
They said it's $43 million, but it could be up to $45. I'm like, it's Chiefs, and you're certainly hoping it's $45 because that means he's played. If it's only $43, it means he's probably.
Well, yeah.
I do think he has to be better for the next 3 years than he has been for the previous 3 years.
Yeah.
Like you did not sign him to give you an average of 950 yards.
Yeah. And what's the average, about 4.2 a carry or something like that?
4.3 for his career.
Okay.
The first and last year, he averaged 4.6.
Okay.
But, I mean, I
That's
gave the
where
numbers.
you have to be.
His career numbers are Isaiah Pacheco-esque. The volume, the totals are higher because his games played are higher, but the yards per carry and all of that is kind of Pacheco-esque. Yeah. So I think he's 4.1. Is he 4? No, I think he's 4.3.
Yeah, I think you mentioned it was
4.3. I think he had a 3.7 the year he was banged up and hurt, and then he had 2 4.6s and maybe a 4.1 also. There's like 2 off years and 2 good years, but yeah, he's got to be more than he's ever been.
Yeah, he's got to be better than he's ever been. Play for a team that has a quarterback that's better than anybody's ever played with.
You could have signed Tyler Algier and Kenneth Gainwell for less.
Yeah.
Than you signed him,
and then have a
now could you have gotten both of them to sign?
Yeah. Probably not.
It's a very good point that Kurtis made. Like, well, that sounds great, but whichever one you sign first, the other one's not signing.
No.
Or and I also said, if you're just comparing Walker to those two, you need to compare Walker to whatever else they do when they're ready to go into
Walker
the season,
and whatever else they do,
and whoever else whatever else they do at running back.
Yeah,
whoever that second guy is, and you can compare those two. But comparing one guy to two guys, I don't think is quite apples to apples.
Yeah. No, I think that's fair. I think that's a fair point. Do you like the other moves? You like Tonga?
Yeah.
Boy, you know what? You know why we should like Tonga? Because I think even Grunhard can pronounce that.
He'll call him Tonga.
Tonga. He will screw it up somehow. Don't you agree?
Sure. He called Manga Manga, so he'll call Tonga Tonga.
Well, he's going to call him Chris, first of all. Khyiris. Chris. We know that. Or Kairos.
Yeah.
It is Kairos.
It's Kairos.
So he'll screw that up, and then Tonga maybe Manga. Or he may just resort back.
He'll take the end that he added to Manga to Maga, and he'll take it away from
Taga.
He'll just call it Taga.
Yeah. Don't you think?
He
taking the whole month of March off.
True.
Let's talk some crap.
he very quickly. He finally got around to Sua Mata Ia. He figured that one out pretty quickly.
Because we laid it out to him.
We went Sua Mata Ia.
Yeah.
He went, oh.
Yeah. Makes it easier.
And he had it. I was like, that was quick.
When he started, what was it? Sumerian?
Su Matai, Su
me, Su you.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Suez Canal.
Before the last NFL regular season, he was stuck on Ashton Gelati. Couldn't get the name right. Then he just went, I hope the kid gets cut.
It's all about Tim anyway. Come on. Oh, that's great.
Oh, that is good.
He is classic.
Yes.
He's a classic.
Yeah. So, enjoy Florida. You know he's driven to Cincinnati like 9 times.
Oh, I
in this
know
month.
he has. I know.
I've seen
He's
other
either,
people.
The
he's either
grandkid.
Cincinnati here. He's got a wedding this summer in St. Louis with his daughter. I mean, he's everywhere. And in Florida.
Oh, well, good. Good. He should be very easy to get on the show.
Oh, yeah. No problem.
It's always such a layup. Like, you two guys being buddies it's the ultimate buddy cop movie. One of you, no worries. The other one, insufferable pain in the ass. I'll let you guess which one is Danny Glover and who's Mel Gibson from Lethal Weapon.
I've always said about other people as well, if he hadn't been born, we would have had to have created him. Because there's got to be he had to be there, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Someone would have had to create him.
He's a classic.
All right, the Godfather, Frank Bowl, is with us. Brought to you by our friends at Applause Custom Sight and Sound, Kansas City's best when it comes to smart home technology, in-home theaters. How about security surveillance? Don't forget that smart home technology is not just for your home. They do offices as well. Been in my home since 2004. Talking with the guys at Applause. Going to do another project with them as well at my mom's house. It's Applause Custom Sight and Sound. Find them online at applausetheater.com.
The program with Soren Petro.
You familiar with the term dumber than a bag of hammers?
Weekdays from 2 to 6 on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Listen, when it comes to buying a car, a truck, or an SUV, what do we all want? We want a simple process, right? We want to get the best value that we can for our trade, and we want to get into the new vehicle as simply and easily as possible. Roberts Robinson knows that. That's why Mike Robinson and his great staff, the years of experience, they give you that, a comfortable car buying experience. No high-pressure tactics. Mike hires only the best team members. So no matter what you're doing at Roberts Robinson, maybe you need some service. Robbie will do a fantastic job. He did a great job for me and my daughter. Picked up the car, got the service done, brought it back. Could not have been easier. No standing around waiting, wondering if somebody's going to come over and help me out when I pull my car in. Jesus, anybody working here today? Never. That's never the experience at Roberts Robinson. How about in sales? Tim does a phenomenal job there. No pressure. Hey, take a look at the vehicles. Let me know if you got any questions. And Jordan in finance is unbelievable. You know what we want there? We want to just get in and get out. He knows it forward and backwards, makes the process easy to get done buying that vehicle. That's what they're all about. A super knowledgeable, super friendly, low-pressure experience in everything that comes with your vehicle. Roberts Robinson is simply Kansas City's best. They've got a great reputation. They've got great reviews. Check them out. You'll see. People love it, right? They love the fact that they get an absolutely great trade-in. That's right. They get a great deal on their trade-in. They get extra bonuses if they're eligible for their vehicle, and they get done quickly. I know. I've been to Roberts Robinson, and nobody does it like they do. They're absolutely Kansas City's best. If you want the most value for your trade-in, visit robertsrobinson.com. See why they just make it easy at Roberts Robinson. Again, go to robertsrobinson.com. They just make it easy.
Attention truck shoppers, looking for power, performance, and a deal you can't ignore? Shop Randy Kerno Buick GMC, where they have over 120 pre-owned trucks in stock and ready for immediate delivery. From tough, hard-working pickups to fully loaded crew cabs, they've got the perfect truck waiting for you. And now you can upgrade your ride with no money down. That's right, no money down and more truck for your money. Visit them in person or shop online at randykerno.com.
See dealer for details with approved credit. Jeff Montgomery here for Amoeba Medical. The new year is all about turning the page and feeling your best. Men, if better sleep and fewer bathroom trips are on your list, an enlarged prostate could be the reason. I decided not to carry that problem into another year and contacted Dr. Brown at Amoeba Medical. Their non-surgical treatment was fast, simple, and came with minimal recovery time. And it's covered by insurance. Start the year more comfortable and well-rested. Schedule a visit with Dr. Brown and the team at Amoeba Medical in Kansas City. Amoeba Medical, MIVA-medical.com.
In Kansas, truth is told in speed, wide open, full bore, and no mercy. Season momentum earned 3 and 4 wide, loud, intense, inches predicting outcomes, blink and miss.
They bang sideways!
What just happened? Pure speed whipping across the plains.
Hell yeah, boys!
NASCAR weekend at Kansas Speedway, April 18th and 19th. Get your tickets now at kansasspeedway.com.
You've tried stronger glasses, you've heard you're not a LASIK candidate, and you may think that's the end of your story. It's not. Discover Vision Centers provides advanced vision correction options for people over 50, including solutions specifically for patients who don't.
All right, the La Feta Delicatessen, end of the Hour Answer Big 12 tournament underway down at not Kemper, good Lord. Francis, you being here.
You looked at me and you said Kemper.
Kemper. By the way, I saw a picture. Somebody posted it. Now I'll repost it and show it to you. Someone had a picture of Kemper the first year that it opened. Just a wide shot of it. And how different it looked.
Yeah.
By the way, if I looked at Frank, I would have thought of the Muni.
Ah.
Wow.
True.
It's still there.
I know. As are you.
That's true.
Yeah. The one change they made, they took the old clock off the wall. I kind of wish they had not
at
done
Muni.
That.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate the clock because you see it in those old pictures of the Final Four and those shots under the basket. You'd always see that clock.
Yeah, the
that
clock
clock
was
looks
right
so
there.
cool.
The
now
Roos
it's gone.
Are signing big time local talent.
Yep.
They're going to be back there. I'm hoping.
Yeah, very good.
Get that
they
clock
announced,
back up there before they start winning conference championships under Coach Turgeon.
Yeah, they announced
That's so awesome
three of
that
the,
he took over that program. That is
Love
just
it.
awesome.
announced
fantastic.
three of the best players in the city committed yesterday. DJ Jackson from Piper, Josh Corey from Oak Park. I actually saw them play each other in a 8-10 varsity tournament game at Piper. They're both really good. And then Cameron Love, a really good player out of Olathe North. So we've been waiting for years for when is UMKC going to start plumbing this city for the talent that's there and not letting them go other places?
And it's
pretty
like
good start.
Yeah, right. And I think also it helps the transfer portal and the upperclassmen and all these guys. I think it really helps if you're going to do something like at UMKC, like Coach Sturgeon's going to do, go with the high school kids. I mean, go with the kids and get them in there, and then sprinkle in a kid here or two, because you're not going to get the big time guys because you probably don't have the money. But the high school kids, they're dying for places to go. There's a lot of schools that just aren't taking them anymore.
They won four games this year.
Yeah.
And got blown out by 20 plus to a team that was well under 500 in their conference.
I'm going to encourage you to go to La Feta Delicatessen today, tomorrow, this weekend, because they are going to be closed Monday through Thursday. So much of their staff, when they opened, already had spring break trips planned.
Yeah.
So they're going to be closed. What is that? The 16th through the 9th to 16th,
Through St. Patrick's Day.
16th through the 19th.
Yeah.
They will be closed. So get to La Feta now, right now, 143rd and Metcalf Southeast corner. Don't worry, they'll be back open on the Friday of the NCAA tournament, and it'll be great. But you can't make sandwiches with just Adam.
Yeah.
No, I
you
would
can still make a heck of a sandwich. You just can't make.
No, he doesn't want people waiting an hour or something like that. So they just give everybody. They've been working really hard. They've been so popular. Voted number 2 brand new restaurant here in Kansas City, La Feta Delicatessen. Get over there today.
My new Friday jam.
It is. They
That's
do
right.
a great job.
You said that the other day.
Great folks as well. All right, let's get to some frank opinions. Curtis, where do we begin?
How far does Kansas get in the Big 12 tournament? Quarterfinals, which they're in, semifinals, finals, championship.
Semifinals.
Number?
Let's go with. You had 3 choices?
4.
4.
Quarters, semis, finals.
52%.
Championship.
53.
59.7.
Damn.
Dang it. How far does Missouri get in the SEC tournament? Second round, which is where they'll start. Quarterfinals, semifinals, or finals?
Second round.
Second round is not the quarterfinals, right?
No.
Second round is like if they would lose their first game.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which would be against either Kentucky or LSU, who played.
Yes, I'll say second round as well.
Number?
I'll say, how many? 4 again? Okay, I'll say.
Same as last question.
Yeah. I'll say 52.
Yeah, 51. They're not going to be as sold on this.
59.8.
Oh, my God. Same score?
Hello.
What is this? Are you showing him the answers?
Nope. He's just better than you. At least has been so far.
That's a shot.
Okay.
That
See
was
how
a
you are.
shot. Okay.
Let's see what happens the rest of the game.
It's
Okay.
not going to affect me. It's going to affect how you guys look. It's just.
Hey.
Big 12.
Do you have to tick them off?
How about the guy lunch today, too? This is the
I
thanks
know.
I get.
This is it?
Yeah.
Wow, okay. All right, go ahead.
What was that?
Bitch boy.
Curtis, you mean, right? Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Make sure.
That's 23 seasons. That's the 2 funniest words I've ever heard Bill Self say.
Oh, yeah.
It's just
you know what?
It's just the way
just
he said
doesn't
it.
care anymore.
And in about
the way-
10 more days, no one will ever remember when he said it. It'll
Yeah.
sound like he just called somebody.
Yeah, right.
When he was talking about, well, if you go and
Complain
about
about
the refs, and that's just bitch boy. You know, like,
It's the accent.
Mhm.
It's just the kind of derision. It's the way it leans into the consonants. It's just everything. It's the perfect drop. Anyway,
Yes.
Big 12. Will a team that wins today also win tomorrow?
I'll say yes. I'll take the field.
that wins today. Yeah, because BYU's in there and TCU's in there. Yeah, one of them will get by. Yes.
Yeah.
TCU actually isn't playing today.
Sure.
BYU
whatever.
is though.
You get my point.
Yeah. So you say yes?
Yeah.
TCU's not playing today.
They play tomorrow.
Play tomorrow.
They'll play the winner between Colorado
listen,
and OSU.
The double bye. Can we just
we
play
stop?
4 rounds?
Have you seen? There's one. Oh, it's the SBC tournament. There's 2 games every day, and so that winner plays somebody, and then that winner plays somebody, and there's 2 different tracks. It's weird. It's just
Sun Belt.
it's like a V laying on its side. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Like the top seed gets like a quadruple bye.
Never seen a letter lay down, but okay.
This one does. It looks like the greater than sign.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Alley the alligator. Where
And
was
so,
I?
like the 2 best teams only have to play 2 games.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
I'll show you the graph. It's the strangest looking.
Well, they're
bracket I've ever
rewarding
seen.
the in-season success.
For
is
sure.
what they're doing. So
For sure, but one team's like, okay, we have no idea who to prepare for. It could be one of 5 different teams they play. The answer you said both. Said,
No, wait a minute.
You both said.
I said yes.
Yes, a team would win.
Yeah. A team
What was the question?
that played
What
I
team
say
that wins
yes.
today?
I
Okay.
say yes.
The answer is actually no. Number?
It's just 50-50. Right, two,
There's only two.
Just two.
61%.
60.
52.4.
Sucks.
Darren Peterson's highest point total this week will be 25 or more, 24 or fewer.
I'm gonna say.
I'm gonna go 25 or more.
Yeah, so am I. I'm gonna say
No,
25 or more.
I should make you go first.
Okay.
No.
I
you're
usually
fine.
do
No.
go first.
No, it was my
I usually
fault.
do.
It was my fault. Well, usually whoever's behind, whoever's in
Yes.
front is supposed to go first, and I shot my mouth off, so it's my fault.
Okay.
So
You both said 20.
25 or more.
Yeah.
Answers 24 or fewer.
Okay.
Number?
My turn.
Yeah.
I will say 60.
61.
60.9.
Yeah.
You're on the board.
Lucky.
You are on the board. Here comes the run.
Here it is.
Here it is.
This one comes from Austin Simmons Burner.
You want a timeout?
I don't know who that is.
No.
Better get
I
a tail,
don't.
Frankie.
I don't need it. We're not in the NCAAs yet. I don't need a timeout. Go ahead.
What seed will Kansas get in the NCAA tournament? 3, 4, or 5?
3.
4.
59% said 4. 25%
They're
said
a 5
3.
in CBS right now.
25% said 3. 15% said 5.
Okay.
He also gave me this idea. What will Missouri get in the NCAA tournament? What seed? 9, 10, 11, or not in?
Missouri 9, 10, 11 are not in.
I'll say, is 11 to play in?
Yeah. Well, there's 6 11,
yeah,
so
that's
4
right,
of them
6,
play in and 2 would
I'll say 11.
I'll say 11 as well.
It's actually 10.
Okay. Percentage would be, I think, just 44.
43.
44.6.
Oh!
How do you rate the Kenneth Walker signing? 7 or worse, 8 or better?
On a scale of 1 to 10, I guess.
I'll say
8 or
8
better. Yeah, they're going to be positive.
8 or better.
Number?
Frank?
I'll say 65.
66.
75.5.
You want that timeout?
No.
Okay.
How many rushing yards for Kenneth Walker as a Chief? 4,000 or more, fewer than 4,000?
Fewer than 4,000.
Yeah, fewer than 4,000.
Number?
69%.
Ooh, that's high. 70.
68.4.
Oh, man.
Clawed all the way back.
Crushed at the end.
Living on the black.
You've been on the nose. Last one. This comes from Ken McCrae. How many receiving TDs for Travis Kelce this season? 5 or fewer, 6 or more?
I'll say 5 or
Five
fewer.
or fewer.
Yeah.
Number?
You, Frank?
Mine, I'll say 60.
61.
54.
Yes!
Is that it?
That's it.
I win. 5-4. 5-4.
What?
Came from down.
What?
A 5-0 run. I told you to get a TO.
Came down from, was it 3-0? Down from 3-0
3-0.
to win 5-4.
5 unanswered till you got that oh, by the way, at the end.
All right, overall, Soren with 5 victories, Frank with 3 and 2 ties. In the aggregate, Soren 60, Frank 57.
Whew. Still tight.
close.
Still tight.
Close.
Okay. All right. We'll find out.
It was over by this time last year.
Find out how stupid I am on current events. What in the world, Soren, is next here in the program. All right, what in the world, Frank? What do you got for me?
All right, buddy. What airline terminal was evacuated recently?
Airline terminal?
The whole terminal.
D.C., I guess. I don't know, Dulles.
KCI.
Oh, really?
Nate landed in the middle of it. He couldn't leave.
Wow.
Beckett Griffin is a sixth grader from Lee Summit. He is going to compete for the second straight year in what?
He's a what grader?
Sixth grader from Lee Summit.
Don't know.
National Spelling Bee. 2 in a row.
Good for him.
Congratulations, Beckett.
Good luck, kid.
When did daylight savings time start?
Well, it's Sunday.
Originally start.
1939.
No, it was 1918 and permanently in 1966. What two states still do not comply?
Arizona's one of them. Is it Indiana?
One of your other favorite states. One of your other favorite places.
Oh.
Hawaii.
Ah.
What school has the highest all-time win percentage in Big 12 tournament games? Brought to you by La Feta Delicatessen. Connolly Plumbing Solutions is hosting a canned goods drive this month for harvesters. Have donations ready during your service call, and they'll deliver them. Connolly Plumbing Solutions, proudly serving our community. NFL free agency officially starts tomorrow, but you wouldn't know. Another flurry of moves today, including a fan favorite. The Lions have signed free agent running back Isaiah Pacheco. The former 7th-round pick of the Chiefs spent 4 years in KC. Travis Kelce back for year 14. He told Pat McAfee today he's still in love with football.
I still love going to work, putting on the pads, grinding it out, and just, playing the game. My best opportunity was playing for the Chiefs yet again and running this thing back with Pat Mahomes and Coach Reed.
Big 12 tournament underway downtown. K-State in action tonight. They face BYU in the first game of the evening session. Tip-off at 6. Winner gets West Virginia tomorrow night. This is SportsCenter.
First. That's not what it shows on mine.
Look at the times.
Why would it not?
I don't know. Shows me at 4 o'clock and everyone else
4:02 for you.
Mine says 4 o'clock. Mine says 4 o'clock on my.
I object. It is the program here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Petro, Seaboldt, Collier with you. Sam McDowell joins us here in the program. Brought to you by our friends at Corona. If you are getting ready to celebrate, I don't know, maybe some St. Patrick's Day, maybe you're headed down to the Big 12, make sure you are ready to go. Get the Corona Light, Corona Premier. If you want less carbs, less calories, check it out. Bold flavor with a wonderful, wonderful finish. Get it right now. You can also check out the Corona Sunbrew Citrus Cerveza as well. Find it wherever your Corona beer is sold, real orange flavor. You can get it right now, wherever you find your Corona. Sam, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
Good. No complaints. Let's start with the electric games tonight of the Big 12 tournament. Do you like this format? This bottom 8 to then the middle 8.
What's the alternative?
16.
Just play all 16?
Yes.
I mean, you're going to play 8 games in a day?
Sure. We got enough buildings here.
Where are you going to play them?
Municipal and T-Mobile.
I mean, I think this is by far the most functional way for it to be held. All in one place, and I mean, they've got 4 games in a day.
He couldn't walk 3 blocks.
I think it would take a lot to. I'm sure there's too much tape to have it. 2 separate sites at one time.
There probably is. They've had, I think, who was it? That's how that Vegas tournament works. The beginning of the year, they've got multiple ones going. I mean, it can be done, but no, I don't think they're going to do it because they don't want to. They want to reward. Which one was it? The Sunbelt. Yeah, Sunbelt does a. Basically, it's 2 games a day, every day.
Yeah, I've seen that. Isn't like, didn't the 10 seed make the final or something though?
I don't know.
They have.
Oh, I wasn't watching.
Well, we know they may have. I think they did. I think the 10 seed's in the final on that.
Way to call out Kurtis, huh? Boy, guy's just trying to help out, and you're going to dump on him right away. What does this tournament mean? Is it for a second 1 seed, or do you think Florida's already locked up the 4th one? I think 3 of them are in the bag.
Yeah, I think 4 of them are in the bag.
Do you think Florida's there?
Yeah.
There's no way that Houston or Iowa State winning this tournament would push them in front?
I don't think so. I mean, I think they're pretty settled on the 2. So, yeah, I think those other 4 are in. I mean, I think it means as much for KU as anybody. Not as much as the wins and losses. Like, they just need to play together. And so, like, I think it's a pretty important week for Kansas to get feeling like it's comfortable with its rotation.
It's not going well of late for the Jayhawks. They've got that the game that doesn't seem to fit is the Houston game.
I thought they played well on Saturday against K-State. Now, a lot of teams are playing well against K-State. I still think when you look back at their previous couple of games, I mean, one of the reasons they seemingly aren't playing well is just Darren Peterson wasn't hitting as many shots. And he's, the 4-foot floater that he couldn't hit against Arizona State was falling against K-State. But he played with more purpose in that Saturday game against K-State to, get downhill, try and get to the basket, not just settle for an outside shot. And that's why I just think KU needs games together because, we haven't seen that version.
Do you think it was him or just a K-State team that's incapable of?
There was a clear purpose. The question is whether it's a sign of his health or whether it was a signal from the coaching staff, and probably more likely the answer is both. That to where, he can shoot really tough shots from the perimeter. That doesn't necessarily mean that's the best shot that he can get, though.
Yeah, he goes 29 minutes and they win. Notice that little 30-minute mark seems to be the bugaboo when he plays 30 minutes. They are count it up again here: 1-3, 2-3, 3-3, 4-3, 4-4.
I think it's 4.
5-4, 6-4.
Oh, been a couple since then.
6-4, which means they're significantly better when he doesn't play 30 minutes. But that constitutes a lot of the early games early on. I don't know. Do you think, where is their ceiling now? Do you think that they are still a team that can, if they can put it all together? I'm sure Gary Parrish is going to come on and tell us what he's said all year. You have one of the best coaches with the best talent. Would never rule him out from winning a championship, which is, I get that. I wouldn't rule him out, but I sure as hell wouldn't pick him either. Not the way they're playing now.
Yeah, they're not the best team in the country, but I think they're certainly capable of getting hot. If Darren Peterson's healthy and he's looked healthier over the last couple of weeks, then I still think they've got a pretty high ceiling. I mean, he's a terrific talent, and that's why I thought Saturday was pretty important because he's trying to score in different ways. I just don't know if we've seen that.
The issue we've seen with them when people say, well, if he can just go off one night or they can soar, but it's when he's gone off, it's been nights no one else scores, and so that's kind of the issue is when they've fallen off is when other players haven't scored. When he scores 19 and somebody else has 14 and somebody else has 15 and somebody else has 12, they've been a lot better than when he has 29 or 30.
Except for this game.
Yeah,
this is the one time. And I wonder, was that just a great player felt really good against a bad team and it all clicked?
I think it's about the types of shots he's getting. When he's not just settling for jump shots, that's a lot of one-on-one stuff. And when he's going to the basket, it's creating openings for others. And I mean, what do you have?
And he
4 or 5
he'll
assists
get to
in the game
more often.
Last few games, his assist total's been up. I definitely think that's a good sign. But I do wonder, is it he's scoring in different ways because K-State just can't stop him? Houston took him out of what he wanted to do.
Yeah, I mean, K-State's defense is terrible.
There's
no question.
Yeah, better teams. I almost think there was. It's probably unfair to say, but there was nothing to gain in beating K-State. You could only come out and have a bad day. It's you can't even score on these guys. And when you score on them, I mean, there's a little damned if you do, damned if you don't. Well, yeah, of course, it's K-State. I mean, I'd rather see him, if I'm a Kansas fan, have a good day than not have a good day. But I think it just kicks the can down the road to answering the question of what he's going to be.
Yeah, and there's definitely some of that. I wouldn't say there's nothing to gain just because they haven't played together for nearly enough time for a team that's heading into March as a top 4 seed. And I still think KU could probably be playing for the 3 seed, more likely on the 4, but I still think that the biggest thing they need is to figure out how do they play best. I mean, usually a team in March, especially a Bill Self team that I think has perhaps historically prioritized early in the season too much. I mean, this is really late for them to still not know exactly what they are.
Yeah, Bill Self's talked about that. He's never had a situation like this, and I don't know. I can't think of one. That's Kyrie Irving's the closest thing people have come up with.
But they knew. Duke knew he was out. He's just out.
Yeah,
you got to play without him.
Yeah, they did. But what do you think of the route? They're either going to get Oklahoma State or Colorado or TCU in the first game, and then they're most likely to get Houston. Maybe I can't believe BYU fell all the way down to a 10, but Houston, in all likelihood. I mean, is that where it ends, or do you think that there's a chance that they get upset in that first round? This will be if Iowa State, who's got to play in that opening round or in the second round, man, they better not drop. But I mean, they've got to go through Texas Tech, Like, don't want to see what's going on if what we have down there is Texas Tech, Arizona, Houston, and TCU. Sparse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the BYU-Texas Tech game, which was the last game, I guess maybe the Colorado game was technically played after that on Saturday. I was going to say it was the last game of the Big 12 regular season, but I do think Colorado was scheduled later. But still, the last meaningful game of the regular season turns out a very meaningful game, which is, KU has a much easier route as a 3 seed than they would have had as the 4, but it's also meaningless for us because KU is going to play at 11:30, and now we've got to wait till 8:30, which is not the ideal time slot for us in the media. Looking forward to that 11:30 a.m. tip.
Yeah, and now you can sleep in.
But it's also for better for the tournament too. I mean, I don't know that the tournament Iowa State KU I think is always great in that venue, but as what would that have been, a quarterfinal? Like, yeah, less impactful. I'd rather see if that can be like a final or something.
By the way,
it can be a final. It also means that 2 games are guaranteed to be.
Yeah, different sessions too.
Yeah,
you've got Iowa State early. You've got KU late. I think it's going to be a much more frequently full arena because of how it worked out.
Yeah.
Looking at the potential 3 teams they could play in that first game, the best defensive team of the 3 is TCU, and they're ranked 208 in field goal defense. In fact,
TCU should have beat them once.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's like you say, could they lose? I mean, yeah, they could lose one of those.
But
games.
it will be a disaster if they lose that game.
Yes. And to be honest, like I think that's what I said. I think they've got a shot at a 3 seed still because when you look at the teams ahead of them, I mean, a lot of them are in similar conferences to where somebody's got to lose. But I don't know whether that means they need to win the tournament, whether they can lose to Arizona and a championship game, or I think they probably more likely have to win the thing.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. I think just because
that Arizona State loss looks pretty bad.
That one's and they've got other bad losses.
Yeah, Cincinnati.
West Virginia, the loss to West Virginia, I guess looks better because they're the 7, but it's BYU that's falling down. I think that one's not. The way they beat BYU, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Darren Peterson played the first half,
but that now doesn't look as good because they're all the way down at the 10 seed. So
yeah, they beat them when they were whole, but still, that I didn't know that. West Virginia and Arizona State are sitting there similar in some of the metrics, but even when watching that Arizona State game, you were kind of like, how are you losing this game?
Well, I will say the way the center for Arizona State opened up, I'm like, how's Bob Hurley not won more?
Yeah, but
than this because he looked pretty impressive to start.
I mean, he was making shots, but like he wasn't shooting them in a way to where I was like, this guy's a great shooter.
No, I agree, but you're just like, well, you've got this guy and you can't do more with this. Like, what are you doing down here, Bob? I don't know.
By the way, there have been 2. Arizona State and Cincinnati have now advanced to the quarterfinals.
Okay.
Arizona beating Baylor earlier.
Arizona State.
Arizona State 83-79, and Cincy 73-66 over Utah. So it's Arizona State, Iowa State, and Cincy UCF tomorrow.
By the way, you want to help me out with how Baylor has 2 projected first-round picks in the NBA draft, and they are this bad?
Yeah, I haven't watched a lot of Baylor this year, but
they haven't compelled you to.
Yeah, I mean, I think that their metrics aren't actually too terrible, and pretty good coach there, and looks like they don't shoot the 3 well, they don't play defense well. I mean, those are 2 things that'll hurt you in today's game.
But I mean, it is glaring that both Jerome Tang and Scott Drew have not been adapting well to the new landscape of college basketball.
Yeah, I mean, a ton of this is what the reason I think the minutes are important for KU is about how quickly you can get the team together, and it's much tougher. It's like speed dating for coaches in a sense to where. But you're right. I mean, they've got 2 guys that I don't know if they'll be lottery picks, but they're definitely first rounders.
No, I didn't say lottery. I said first round.
Yeah. I think they definitely have 2 first-round talents.
But I mean, that's when you consider that Nebraska, at least Gary Parrish said last week, you don't think there's one NBA player on the roster.
They're a pretty old team, though, right?
Yeah.
I think that's sort of like what we saw with Indiana in football is like, okay, we're not going to – I mean, of course, they've got 1-1 with Mendoza, but I think overall they just thought, let's just be older than everybody else. Let's be more experienced and see how much that matters. And that absolutely plays more of a factor than it did a few years ago.
Yeah, I agree, but that's adapt. Stop using the old strategy.
100%.
I mean, I think that's the
well,
very point.
Or couple the two together. I mean, you don't want to get rid of, the was it a freshman and sophomore, or that are these first round picks? You don't want to.
I think so.
You don't want to stop getting the high school talent, but it's got to be coupled with some seniority as well.
Yeah, they just have not. It's stunning. I mean, because it looked like, okay, he's got it all figured out. This guy knows what he's doing, and it just hasn't produced that way.
Yeah, and that's also a reminder of just like the overreaction to 1 year now in college sports is.
Yeah, but they were a number 1 seed the year before that got called off. I mean, he'd been to multiple Elite Eights,
and they
were 3 Elite Eights before.
They were a 1 seed after.
I'm talking about
the year
this
after
year.
Also.
I'm talking about this year. I think there could be overreaction to what Baylor is this year because the success has been there.
That's true, but they have been on a steady decline, haven't they?
Yeah. They were a 1 seed the year after they won it, and they got knocked off. They were really banged up. They lost some guys inside. They got knocked off in the second round. I think
what were they
North
last
Carolina.
year?
Last year they weren't very good. The year before they were a 3 seed.
Okay.
Last year they were a 9 seed. Won their first game, lost to Duke.
So all right, well they need to turn in the right direction next year for sure. What do you make of Missouri's finish? Besides the obvious suboptimal,
I think it finished later than they anticipated. Like Trent Pierce has a wide open layup to win the game, and it seemed like nobody on the court knew that the game was still going because of the difference in the shot clock and the game clock. So like that was a really bizarre finish to their regular season. But
maybe don't sit there and dribble for.
Yeah, I mean, look, Missouri.
The shot
the end game execution was a chef's kiss to some bad execution they've had previously that it seemed like they were maybe getting beyond. They were god awful,
especially in overtime. Especially in overtime.
Yes.
To be honest, they didn't have they had a pretty good look at the end of regulation, and then literally Trent Pierce is wide open for a layup to win the game. Like that's 2 good looks to win the game in regulation. But I mean, this is something that's gonna face Missouri, particularly if they make a second round, and I think in the SEC tournament too is like. Mark Mitchell was gassed late in that game, and now he's going to be playing
shoved
back-to-back.
under the basket by a guard.
And now he's going to be playing back-to-back games if they advance in the SEC tournament. You're going to be playing on back-to-back days. In the regular tournament, if you win a game, you could be playing your second game in 3 days. And I think what the Arkansas game showed is late because like Missouri was really good for about a 20-minute stretch over the middle of the game.
Arkansas by 20 minutes over a 20-minute or 20 points in a 20-minute stretch.
It's like they were really good for a stretch, but I just thought he was gassed late in the game, and it's like, man, that's not going away.
And I think also I noticed it seems like that the rotation isn't as deep as like Missouri fans had hoped after they played Mississippi State. They really have the starters in Anthony Robinson because Trent Burns is got limitations. He's big, but he's got some limitations.
I still thought they should have played him because it keeps Mitchell's mismatch in play for teams, and I think that's one of the reasons they've been good recently until the past couple of weeks.
Jacob Cruz doesn't seem to be able to do anything right now. He can't guard anyone, and he hasn't been hitting shots. And
he was guarding Arkansas. He was guarding Thomas. He was Arkansas's hottest shooter for like a 4-minute stretch. And I was like, does anyone else notice the reason this kid is going off is because of the defense that he's seen?
And it seemed like every guy he guarded on Saturday immediately scored.
Well, I mean, that is a correlation equals causation.
Yeah.
Like, because there's a reason those guys are, I mean, they've got better looks. And I like I said, I think that showed up a lot this year. Mm-hmm. And you've seen his minutes decrease. But during the middle of that game, when Arkansas is just hitting everything early and about midway through the first half, you're like, there's a reason for it. Like, these guys' looks are pretty good right now.
That's if I'm Missouri, the team I don't want to face is any team that has multiple scoring. You know, that they want to get – they're not going to win a game in the 80s probably against a team that really – because they just don't have enough guys who can guard. I'd almost rather take on someone like Houston or somebody who's good, maybe has really good defense, but – game's not going to get away from you there.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Well,
I don't think they match up well against anybody, but I really don't want to see them face anyone who has guys who can score.
I just think the Arkansas game, there was no A-Cuff.
Yeah.
And
You've got to win that game.
And there were just numerous.
Yeah.
And it's not all on Gates, but it's on Gates and his staff. I mean, T.O. Barrett pushes a 1-on-3 and turns it over. And
why is he in a rush?
Why
is he in a rush there?
I don't know because it served him well. I mean, I think it shows that even when he's made buckets, it's just like it's a little bit of the defenses being the Red Sea and parting for him, and he just out athletes guys and thunders down the lane, and I loved watching it and I celebrate it when it works. But Arkansas's got dudes.
Yeah.
And you don't just blow by them. They're just as good as you, and they stayed in front of them, and it's just like,
and
it's just I think you see why they didn't open the year with T.O. Barrett, because they're like, okay, he's a little bit of a bull in the china shop. He's big and strong, but he's going to break some stuff while he's in here.
Unfortunately, some teams who have a guy like that, their other guy who's the veteran, more of a veteran, is like the steadying presence, but that's not Anthony Robinson. He's anything but that.
I also didn't feel like it late in the game, who's bringing it? Are they just deciding?
Mark Mitchell brings it up sometimes.
Well,
You're
I know,
like,
that's what I'm saying.
Going on there?
And it'll be Robinson, and then it'll be Barrett, and I'm like, well, are these? And then I'm like, okay, so they have a set that they want to start with the ball in his hand? No, it doesn't look like it. And then I will say just the dribble.
I don't think there's a lot of sets being run with their offense. They do some good out of timeout stuff.
Well, that's why
they got Mitchell a great bucket in the post late in that game on an out of timeout play. It's like, all right, there's something.
Yeah.
There's good offense, but when they get a rebound and move the ball up the court, I mean, other than trying to get Mark Mitchell to the basket, and when you got numbers, there's not a lot of plan there on 5-on-5 half court.
They also, I would think, lead the nation in times that a basketball has hit the hands of a rebounder and not been caught by that rebounder.
They do keep that stat. Yeah.
It is incredible.
That's exactly what they call it.
I mean, it's
times hit hands.
Grab
not
the
rebounded.
ball has been yelled at the screen more than anything, I think, by Missouri fans. What is? There was one guy. There were three of you. How did you not get that rebound?
The THHNB.
Oh,
yeah.
How are you going to feel, Kurtis, if let's say LSU upsets Kentucky?
Mm-hmm.
They've beaten Mizzou already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What if you lose to LSU twice? How are you going to feel on Sunday?
Well, you're going to feel awful because you're going to
feel like
you're going to be chewing on your nails.
Yeah.
I would actually.
They're playing on Tuesday or Monday.
If I were a Tiger fan, that's the dream scenario because there's payback on top of.
Yeah.
You got to have it, but
that's the only way I think they could feel really nervous on Sunday is if it's if you lose to Kentucky, you're not going to feel great. You could feel like fearing Dayton. I think.
Yeah.
You lose to LSU, it's just now what?
Yeah.
I think you could feel particularly nervous going into selection. Now, the thing that's helping them is no one else in the bubble seems to want to win games either right now.
No.
Yeah, they greatly benefited from, as far as the seeding and the situation, by almost everyone around them lost as well. 7 different teams in that pocket all lost on Saturday.
Parrish has said it many times. I mean, they got to find 68. And you can be like, well, we suck, we're out. Well, but who's in? And that's the thing. We try to find who's in. That's why they keep being there, even though they're struggling coming down the stretch. Free agency in the Chiefs. We'll talk about it next with Sam McDowell. He's brought to you by our friends at Corona, Corona Light, and Corona Premier.
All right, the La Feta Delicatessen, end of the hour answer. What school has the highest all-time win percentage in Big 12 tournament games?
Highest win percentage in Big 12 tournament games. Minimum, how many?
No minimum.
Arizona.
Arizona is 2-1. That is not the answer.
So somebody's better than 667? Was it Kansas?
Nope.
No. Missouri?
Nope.
In Big 12.
Among current Big 12 schools.
Among current Big 12
I guarantee Missouri's didn't have this win percentage either.
Houston.
5-1.
Yeah, that makes sense. Good
Kansas
call.
53-15. But Houston 5-1.
So I got first and second. What was Missouri on the list?
They weren't. They weren't on
Not-
this.
they're not-
This
he-
is just
he
the
didn't
current
clarify
Big
the
12
rules.
teams. But Missouri wouldn't have been anyway. I guarantee they're not 5 out of 6. They're not 875. What the hell that is?
I don't think they had 833 win percentage.
Yeah,
no.
probably not.
No, I don't
Probably
think so either.
By the way, Arizona State now has won their first Big 12 tournament game, so only Utah, who lost today, is still looking for their first Big 12 tournament
Football
win.
school. They're a football school. They're not concerned. Were you downtown earlier?
I was, yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of Utah fans, ASU fans down there. See a lot
Jam-packed.
lot of gear.
Yeah, jam-packed with both of those.
A lot of gear.
I haven't seen anyone but those.
They were just shouting Utes the entire time.
Is that right? That's
Yep.
kind of surprising.
Headed back right after this. Watch K-State. Same sort of thing. I assume this will be 15,000 strong.
Well, and then after they lose, will they announce their new head coach? Because, they get a jump on it by making their move early.
And usually the people you want to get a jump on are the other teams who aren't in the tournament.
That's
Those are
right.
the coaches you want to pluck, right?
Uh-huh. Yep. Yep.
They get an extra day to wait to see if Utah State's guy
What's your
will-
prediction
Calhoun
on how K-State fans are going to receive whoever they hire?
Without even knowing who they hire?
That's right. Well, it's somewhat.
Well,
it's
it is a
somewhat
prediction of who you think they'll hire.
Yeah, of how, how much you think they're going to land a
Yeah.
top candidate.
If you think they'll get Jared Calhoun, your answer should be, I think they'll respond pretty well because that'd
Yeah.
be a good hire.
If you think they're going to steal, some successful coach right now.
I think it'll be met pretty well. I think Calhoun's probably the most likely guy. I don't know if I'd say, anyone's better than 50-50, but I think it'll be met pretty well.
Okay. All right, let's move on.
Enough of that.
Why? Is there anything else you want to say about K-State?
No.
You got any?
This was Kurtis. Kurtis was
No.
pushing back on it.
Other than just, I wonder if they lose tonight, if win or lose, are we going to get another Matthew Driscoll, Jerome Tang fan club blast?
Probably. Last time.
It's just unbelievable to watch every night.
Cincy's not going to win enough to get in, so Calhoun's going to be at Cincy, right?
I think
He's the
Cincy-
Utah State coach, isn't he?
You don't think Cincy has a shot?
To get in?
Yeah.
No. I mean, a shot? Sure. They've got a shot. But, do I think it's going to happen? No. What are they going to do? They got to go. Where are they? Let me find their path.
I think UCF and then Arizona if they win there.
Yeah.
So that's. They might win tomorrow. They probably won't win tomorrow, but if they do, it's
That helps,
8-9
'cause,
games.
every-
They
What
get
if
the
what
second
if they
win.
beat? They play UCF tonight.
Tomorrow. They've already
Yeah,
won
they just
over
beat
Utah.
today.
Yeah. So what if they go Utah and what if they beat UCF in Arizona?
If they beat Arizona, I think
Yeah.
that
They should be in.
But
They've
that's-
got
I
a
mean,
pretty good chance of being in.
It's a
But
pretty
I don't
large
think it's gonna
qualifier.
happen. I don't know that they're going to beat Central Florida.
No,
Central
no.
Florida
I mean,
is,
that-
according to I heard Jason say this, that bracket matrix. Central Florida was in 109 of 109.
Wow.
Doesn't mean they will be, but it's a no. I don't know that they're getting by Central Florida, and I definitely don't think they could beat Central Florida because that second game is an advantage. I think for the team that's already played one, but the third one against a team playing its first is not an advantage. That's where you fall on your sword.
I agree. Yeah.
So, but I think if his alma mater calls, that's who's going to get him, right?
Yeah. I mean that makes sense, and it could influence the alma mater's decision too, right?
I think they get more money for him. They
Yeah.
whatever it takes. We cannot lose this guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
and that's
Colin
what-
Klein, you cannot lose to South Florida.
Yeah.
Well, they're not going to lose Calhoun to K-State. That's just my feeling. What do you make of the latest Tyquan Thornton back with the Kansas City Chiefs? Help me out with the name again on the safety.
Alohi Gilman.
Alohi Gilman, brought in at about 2/3 the price of Brian Cook. What's your reaction to the moves today?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the Chiefs were going to very clearly solve running back. I think they paid a lot for Kenneth Walker, but I still think you'd rather do that than overpay in draft capital for running back. But on the back end of that is, I mean, all the moves from here on out are going to be incremental because of what you're paying Travis Kelce and what you're paying Kenneth Walker. And I don't think that they should be a team that is spending $25 million, for example, on a player. But it also speaks when you see, I mean, the market, we say this every year, but the market is paying a lot of guys who I think are above average players, like they're all pro players. And it's just a reminder every year that free agency is not the time to solve your problems. You have to. Every team has some issues they need to solve, but it's just not the ideal time to be solving your problems because you have to overpay everyone you get.
Well, I'll come back around to Walker, but just the Gilman and Thornton. Like, because for me, like, the Walker is the overpay, but, like, Gilman is a smart signing.
Yeah, I mean, they need somebody there. I don't think you
are
feel comfortable with Shamari Connor and Jaden Hicks for all you have when you didn't want to put Jaden Hicks on the field last year. Thornton is, like, he was a weapon for you, but he only saw more than, I think it was 33% of the snaps once in the last, like, post-week 7. Basically, once Rashee Rice came back, he didn't play. And that's still confusing to me. And, I mean, Juju Smith-Schuster played a ton. Hollywood Brown played quite a bit. And
well, I think what's confusing is why is Xavier Worthy out there all the time and Tyquan Thornton isn't?
Yeah, I mean, Tyquan Thornton actually accomplished what you want Xavier Worthy. Tyquan Thornton, despite that play time I just mentioned, I think he played 126 snaps after week 7 last year. And he still finished like 21st in the league in downfield receptions. And when you look at the guys who are in the top 20, it's all guys who have way more overall targets than Tyquan Thornton. Like, it's like the top receivers in the league. It's because, well, you're getting more downfield catches because you have way more opportunities. And he just had, I mean, I think there were only 2 guys that had like fewer than 60 targets, and he had like 36 last year.
What do you think the other offer was that he stayed? Like, if there was one, like, what do you think they had to beat? Because I'm surprised. Like, to me, the yards per catch on Tyquan Thornton, and then if you go look at the tape and you're like, wow, he jumped up and he won a jump ball on that.
Catches,
yeah, it's like we can work with that. Like, let's get him in here. Shaheed, like, how far away is he from being Shaheed, who got $51 million?
Yeah, I mean, Shaheed's a great weapon on specials too, which I think assists him. But I always thought that the Tyquan Thornton conversations of free agency were going to come down to his side asking, "What's my role on this team?" Which is honestly why I thought that he would be signing somewhere else, is because he couldn't have had a better initial 7 weeks for the Chiefs than he did, and he still didn't get a bunch of play time. And he's not a guy. He was technically his first year on the roster, but he'd spent the previous, like, last month of the previous year on the practice squad, and therefore he had the whole off season. Like, he knew the offense theoretically better than a first-year receiver in the system. So I just didn't think there was a great explanation for not having him on the field last year, in which case I thought that's maybe what would push him out to seek something else this year.
The fact that he's here and Nagy's not kind of speaks to.
Yeah, but Nagy was beating that drum to throw the ball downfield more than anybody.
I know.
And he was your most successful receiver in that area. So, look, I mean, Xavier Worthy is a first-round pick, although Tyquan Thornton was a second-round pick, not theirs. But I think third year, I mean, we've seen a lot of tape of Xavier Worthy now, and it should just be let the best man win.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Yeah, they to me, it's going to be interesting to see who does line up now with this in the receiving mix, and so what is their biggest need at this point?
Edge rusher still. Like, how are you going to put pressure on the quarterback? Because, I mean, the
fact that they haven't added anyone, does that make you think that they sign UDK Uzama's?
I think more likely
it's
where they think there's the best possibility in the draft. is they think that of all the positions, I mean, the two outstanding positions that I think they need most are wide receiver and edge rusher, and I just think that's where you'd probably would suggest they go in the draft, and maybe it's a sign for how they view the draft too. Knowing that there's still, I mean, technically free agency doesn't even open until tomorrow. Like, there's some time to fill some of those, but more than anywhere, I mean, yeah, right now their best capital is the number 9 overall pick.
Tonga solves the D tackle, or at least gives you enough depth that you don't feel like you got to take one early, or no, they still going there early.
He should not prevent them from thinking that they need that position. But also, like, he's one of the examples I mentioned earlier. Like, I think you look at his, and like, it seems like people in New England really liked him. They saw him play.
Well, he played on offense, so fat guy play on offense. Right. We like you a lot.
But I mean, I didn't see a lot of projections for him to get, the 3-year contract. There's been a lot of 3-year contracts this year, but I didn't see a big projection for him to get a 3-year deal. In which case, I think it is back to what I said. It's a product of it's not the best time to be solving your needs, knowing that you're going to have to from time to time.
I would like to see, when was the last time, can you think of a guy that they got on a 1 year, like $2 million, that he played so well, they went, okay, let me give you 3 for 21.
Drew Tranquil was, they gave him multi-year deal after he played just 1 year.
Was he signed on just a 1 year deal?
Yeah, initially, yeah.
That one, I think we all felt like, though, like how are they getting this done?
Well, they didn't even have a need for linebacker that year. They literally just said this guy should not be available on the market. They reached out to him, and that situation was to where it was like, we can't even offer you a starting spot, just so you know. Like, we just think you shouldn't be available still, and that's how they wound up with Drew Tranquil. And then he played well enough to where they signed into a multi-year deal after that.
I'm just trying to think, and it's probably unfair, and where micro-focus is it probably almost never happens, right? But, like, I'd love to see, like, the Tonga signed on the 1 for 2, and then you keep him.
Well, that's what the Patriots did. They signed him to a deal like that a year ago, but then they didn't keep him.
Right, which is concerning. But I just, I'm waiting for the time that, like, they grabbed the guy that we're like, who didn't think it, like, they grabbed Jerry Tillery, and then he's like has 7.5 sacks, and it's like, okay, this guy's a cast off, he's a journeyman, and then like, oh no, he's a good player. Or even they go and get the guy for like, 3 for 12, and the second year you're like, God, this guy'd be making $30 million over 3 now,
Yeah,
like it just, I don't know. I guess.
Well, the other opportunity they had to do that was when they signed Jaron Reed, and what was that, 21, and still playing. I mean, Super Bowl champion this year in Seattle, 4 years later.
Couldn't make it work here, but made it work there.
He had a good last half of the season, but did almost nothing for the first half of the year.
1 for 12, upwards of 15 on Kelsey.
I'm not surprised by the number. Look, we've talked a lot about. I think we thought that 10 is about where it should be, somewhere in that 7 to 10 range.
With 2 to 3 million of that being the career achievement award bonus,
exactly,
not necessarily.
Well, and, I mean, let's face it, Kelsey's good for the brand. Like the business side has to love having Travis Kelce in the building. In the salary cap league, like how much can you afford to pay for the business side of it? But yeah, I mean, there's obviously some legacy bonus to the contract.
Yeah, I am not shocked it happened, but
I mean, first of all, I still think the bigger thing about Travis Kelce is like he was their number 1 option last year. Like that's what still has to change. Whether or not Travis Kelce is in your building or not, he cannot be your number 1 receiver. He can't lead you in receptions and yards and tie for the team lead and touchdowns. Like you've got to figure out the transition, and the transition should have happened a couple of years ago with Rashee Rice, but since Rashee Rice has not been
around.
He's played 12 of the last 37 available games for him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's not going to be back next year, if he even gets to play this year.
Yeah.
Based upon what's going on. That's where I'm like, okay, if you're going to be down Rashee Rice, would that money been better hoarded towards going out and solving one of the wide receiver issues?
Yeah, I mean,
whether it's a big money deal for overpaying for Alec Pierce, or getting in the trade and overpaying for Pittman, or
I mean, I thought I had said at the onset of free agency, I thought that Romeo Doubs would make some sense as long as you knew he wasn't your number 1.
And he went, what, today, 3 for 60?
He went 4 at 17 per, I think. So like 4 for 68 maybe.
Is that what it was? Okay.
Which, of course, most of that probably means it is more like a 3-year deal. but that's the going rate for wide receiver 3, and I don't think that's a bad deal though. I wouldn't have been
4 for 80.
I wouldn't have been 4 for 80.
Mm-hmm.
You sure?
Yep. Worth up to 80.
Yeah,
up
I think
to
it's
80.
like
Yeah.
60. I mean, there's the agent
Only
link.
numbers
There's
I see
the
is 4 for 80.
agent lingo and how these things get initially reported versus the reality of what they are. But I think it's like a 4 for 68 guarantee maybe or something like that.
I mean,
12 incentives. Yeah.
Yeah, they've got to start solving the wide receiver position.
They got to just solve the offensive, who does the offense run through? Who does the offense
Kenneth
run through
Walker
right now? Yeah, well, to me though, that you've got to, if your offense is going to run through Kenneth Walker, you've got to change the way you play offense, and it's not just run the ball more. You're going to have to run the ball differently. Because
I agree.
I was looking this up yesterday.
Doesn't that signing suggest that they will? They wouldn't
I
give
think
him that
it
kind of money.
suggests it, but
I mean,
theoretically,
it should, because I mean, you shouldn't ask a guy, you shouldn't pay a running back $15 million, the third highest paid running back in the league, the highest paid ever free agent running back, and then ask him to do something that he hasn't been doing.
Yeah.
So if you want to utilize him best, and the reason you paid him this amount of money, you have to change the way you play offense, because he does not run the plays that the Chiefs run. I'd looked this up yesterday. Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Pacheco are both in the top 8 of RPO carries last year. So they're the top combined duo in the league last year, like 125 carries between the two of them. Kenneth Walker ran the ball 14 times out of RPO last year. 78% of his runs were under center formation. And, that is not the way the Chiefs play football. But it's like there's a reason. You can't just say, okay, we've got a more explosive back. You have to say, why is this guy more explosive? And one of them is the talent. That's part of the answer. But part of the answer is the scheme fit him as well. I mean, he spent more time behind the line of scrimmage than any running back in the league. I think, to be honest, I think some people might watch him run and be a little irritated by some of his runs because he's not a guy who just hits the hole immediately. I think he averaged 3.2 seconds behind the line before he crossed the line of scrimmage.
Some Le'Veon Bell in him.
Yeah, that's a crazy amount of time to spend behind the line of scrimmage. Well, I mean, Pacheco, the one trait that he had last year that was of high quality was he got stuffed at the line literally less frequently than any running back in the league. Well, sometimes you'd like him to wait for something to open up. He seemed too urgent to make sure there was not a loss of yards on a play. You just have these polar opposite backs. It's not just about the success and the explosiveness. It's the reason why the one guy was successful versus the reason the other one doesn't, which is why I still think you can't just think you've solved your run game because you signed a player. You've got to solve the way you run the ball too.
I agree. There has to be a massive overhaul to how you're playing offensive football.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
and it's going to require this is the oddity of the timing of this though, is that your quarterback's coming off an ACL, and this is the time where if you want to improve your running game, you need to say, okay, go under center now. And don't have the ease of being in shotgun all the time, which is easier, of course, on your legs. There's less movement. There's less of a drop back. And so it's going to be kind of fascinating to see how they actually – and I don't even know that, training camp – I don't think training camp is going to tell it to us. And I don't even know if the preseason is going to tell it to us. I think we're going to get in week 1 before when I say we, I mean, those of us who cover the team and watch the team, I think it's going to be the regular season before, have they really changed their running? They're going to say they have. But, these are the metrics I'm going to be looking at is how many times are you running out of RPO? How many times are you running just out of shotgun in general? Because you led the league in it last year, and you weren't any good at it. Now you've got a guy who isn't used to running the ball like that at all that you paid $15 million to. Don't ask the successful running back to change to an unsuccessful system. Figure out why he was good and try and do more of that.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point. We're talking to Sam McDowell. We'll talk a little bit about Bobby Wood Jr. putting on a show last night. Sam McDowell is brought to you by our friends at Corona. Stock up. The NCAA tournament's right around the corner. St. Patrick's Day is right around the corner. You can stock up on the Corona. Corona Light, Corona Premier, even the Corona non-alcoholic. And don't forget about the Corona Sunbrew Citrus Cerveza as the weather is getting warm. In fact, it'd be perfect for today if you like a nice citrus flavor to your beer. Well-balanced, light, refreshing. Perfect with a squeeze of lime. You can get it right now. It is wherever you find your Coronas. All right, Kyle didn't manage the clock very good, so wrapping up hour number 3 here in the program. I'm not wearing that. That's on Kyle. Real quick, did you see Bobby Witt Jr.?
I did, yeah.
In his plays?
Yeah.
I think kid's going to make it.
You know, that actually was a discussion his rookie year, remember?
It was. Talking about center field and
yes,
you know, that kind of thing. It is amazing how far he's come. Every year he's really picked up something in his game.
Yeah.
And this year it kind of feels like it might be like a little better plate discipline. Right?
Yeah.
The defense was the first jump, then his stolen base percentage went way up this past year. He's taking more pitches, he's walking more.
I wondered, was that a product of the spot that they put him in? And if it is, if that changes how the Royals think of where he fits into their order, if it makes him a more disciplined hitter, because he can hit bad pitches. That kind of plays into the fact that he swings at him, is he can hit some bad pitches.
Sam, good stuff. Always appreciate the time. I'll talk to you tonight on our Red, Gold, and Bold podcast.
Yep, sounds good.
All right, 2 players share the Big 12 tournament record for steals in a game. Name either one. Brought to you by La Feta Delicatessen.
Fourth quarter of the program begins right now, finishing strong here on a Tuesday. We will get to Gary Parrish, our college basketball insider, in a moment. First, let's hear from one Travis Kelce. He speaks. He returns. The reports have it, 1 year, $12 million, plus incentives that could take it up to $15 million. Kelce said it didn't take that long for him to make his decision.
I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty short and brief, and the Chiefs knew where I was the entire time on it. I think you always need to take a step back. You always need to take a step back, breathe, let the emotions of the season settle down, and see where the body is and things like that. But man, I'm still in love with this game. I still love going to work, putting on the pads, grinding it out, and just playing the game. And I think my best opportunity was playing for the Chiefs yet again, and running this thing back with Pat Mahomes and Coach Reed, and got my guy Eric Bieniemy, Coach Bieniemy back. There's a lot of pieces in Kansas City that I absolutely love, and I can't wait to get back in the building with them.
I said it really didn't take that long. This is twice where he's told us he knew right away, but we've dragged it out.
Right. It's
okay.
Or maybe he dragged that part out. When did the team know right away?
Or did we have to? Well, I wanted to come back, but we had to get the money right.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what the difference was this time. That comment from the Pat McAfee show, as is this one. Kelce asked, how his conditioning's gone.
I've been having a few too many garage beers right now. Never too many, but I need to get back into the gym and really hunker down and get back to the craft, man. I think the biggest thing was coming back was that we got to be even hungrier than we've been before. And talking to Pat, talking to Coach Reed and the guys, it's there's a lot of dog mentality right now to get this thing fixed, and that mentality itself is already kind of motivating me to get to where I need to be during the season.
Okay.
Dog mentality.
Dog
that
mentality.
Is definitely in vogue these days.
Yeah. All right. We'll see if he's got it, but he's back.
He's back.
And said time to get back into the gym. We'll see what kind of shape he comes into. Hopefully it's more like last year than it was 2 years ago. Bill Self, is he going to be back? He was talking, was asked about the thought that he might be hanging it up after this year.
No, I feel fine. A lot of things out there that all it takes is for one person to say it, and then it's you guys' job to follow up on that one person. But I wouldn't believe what the social media or the internet is saying. I feel pretty good, and I'm really excited about the next, hopefully few weeks or several weeks, whatever it be.
Who was that one person?
Well, listen, I don't think it was me. I don't think he pays enough attention to me. I've said all along I have no inside information. I just look at a guy who looks like he's soaking it up, taking it all. And it may just be that after some health scares, he's like, hey, I want to make sure I appreciate everything more.
Along the journey.
Let's enjoy the journey. It's not just about the destination. My read may be totally wrong, but it's felt to me like this would be it. I don't think he's coaching 10 more years.
No.
I don't think he's coaching 5 more years. I hope that's the case. I hope he's going to be back. I mean, great college basketball coach, and I think he's getting his feel for the NIL part of the equation more. And I think he'll be back in a Final Four if he's going to be here. If he's back with Kansas for 3 more years, the way at least the talent was coming together on this team, or the talent that was acquired hasn't come together yet. The talent that was acquired, I think there'll be another Final Four, which could mean a championship, right? So. Hopefully for Kansas fans, he's back. I like hearing that.
Same.
I also think he's the kind of guy that doesn't want a going away party at every stop.
Right.
So I don't think he's going to tell you when it's his final year.
No.
So we'll see. We'll see where it goes. This time of year, though, Bill Self says he loves it.
You guys will be busy the next few weeks, and you've been doing this a long time. But do you still get excited for this time of year? Do you coach differently? Do you approach things differently, or how do you go about kind of getting ready for this? And is it still an enjoyable?
Shay, just so you know, if it's not, then I would quit. Okay, so it's the best time of year. March is the best time of year for me. If you're going to ask favorite months of the year, March would rank ahead of Christmas, ahead of December for me, just because of this is what we love to do and live for and everything. So yes, I find a ton of enjoyment, and hopefully I will coach better and certainly energized to do whatever I have to do, and whatever our staff needs to do to prepare our guys. But it's the most fun time.
Well, that makes sense.
He's had a lot of good times in March.
He's been pretty good at it for sure.
Yeah.
K-State and BYU, that's coming up here in just a little bit at 6 o'clock. It's on ESPN. K-State getting 11.5 in that one. And also USA versus Italy. 8 o'clock tonight. That one's on FS1 in the World Baseball Classic. McLean against Lorenzen. It's Vinny Pasquantino and Jack Caglione against Bobby Witt Jr. and is Bobby the only one on the
Michael
American?
Wacha.
And Michael Wacha.
Oh, yeah.
Michael Wacha. Little family feud there. We'll take a break. Gary Parrish joins us next.